My beloved child, stop for a moment and listen to me. Do not rush past this because your mind is busy, your phone is calling, or another responsibility is waiting. I am not speaking to frighten you. I am speaking because your heart has been carrying signals that you keep pushing aside. Something within you knows that your peace needs attention. Something within your home, your relationships, or your daily rhythm may need honest care. This is not a reason to panic. It is a reason to become still. You have been moving quickly for so long that you no longer notice how tired your spirit feels. You enter rooms, answer messages, solve problems, and continue serving others, but part of you remains unsettled. At night, when the noise becomes quiet, questions rise. Is everyone I trust truly acting with honesty? Is my home as peaceful as it appears? Have I ignored practical matters because I was afraid to look closely? My beloved child, these questions do not make you weak. They are invitations to wisdom. Hear me clearly. I do not want fear to become your guide. Fear looks at every shadow and creates an enemy. Wisdom turns on the light, checks the facts, and takes the next responsible step. I am calling you toward wisdom. Do not accuse anyone without evidence. Do not let suspicion poison people who have given you no reason for distrust. But do not ignore repeated behavior, unclear agreements, unsafe conditions, or concerns that deserve attention. The watchman in Scripture did not sleep while the city was vulnerable. He remained awake, observed the road, and warned the people when action was needed. He did not create danger in his imagination. He watched what was real. My beloved child, I am teaching you to become a watchman over your peace. Pay attention without becoming consumed. Pray without abandoning practical judgment. Listen without allowing every emotion to become a command. Your home is more than a building. It is the place where your body should be able to rest. It holds conversations, memories, responsibilities, and the people you love. When tension enters that space, it can affect your sleep, your thinking, and the way you treat one another. I care about what happens behind your doors. I care about the atmosphere created by words, habits, secrets, and unresolved conflict. Perhaps there is no immediate threat around you. Perhaps this message is simply calling you to strengthen what has been neglected. Check the lock that no longer works properly. Read the document you postponed. Review who has access to your information. Speak honestly about a conflict that everyone has avoided. Ask for professional guidance if housing, safety, finances, or legal rights are uncertain. My beloved child, prayer and responsible action belong together. You do not prove faith by pretending everything is fine. Faith can open a statement, make an appointment, ask a difficult question, or request help. Faith can admit that a situation feels unsafe. Faith can also admit that anxiety has exaggerated a concern and that you need support to see clearly. I can meet you through scripture and prayer, but also through a counselor, a trusted friend, a doctor, a lawyer, a landlord, or the proper local authority. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders loosen. Look around the room where you are now. Notice what is actually present. Separate what you know from what you fear. Write down the facts if your thoughts are racing. My beloved child, calmness is not denial. Calmness gives wisdom room to speak. You may have learned to ignore discomfort because you did not want to appear difficult. You stayed silent when a boundary was crossed. You accepted explanations that never matched behavior. You allowed someone else to control the atmosphere because keeping peace seemed easier than telling the truth. But silence does not always create peace. Sometimes it only delays an honest conversation. I am not calling you to confrontation without preparation. I am calling you to clarity. If a conversation is needed, choose the right time. Speak about specific actions rather than attacking character. Ask direct questions. Keep important records. Bring another trustworthy person when the situation requires support. If there is danger, threats, coercion, stalking, or violence, seek immediate help from qualified people. Do not remain alone because you believe spiritual strength means handling everything yourself. My beloved child, I am near when you make wise choices. I am near when you close a door that should no longer remain open. I am near when you forgive without restoring unsafe access. I am near when you refuse revenge and choose truth. My protection is not permission to become careless. It is courage to act without panic and peace to think without being ruled by fear. Remember how Nehemiah rebuilt the wall while the people remained watchful. They prayed, worked, and organized themselves carefully. They did not choose between faith and preparation. They practiced both. Let this become your pattern. Pray over your home. Speak peace within it. Repair what is broken. Clarify agreements. Protect personal information. Ask who can enter, who holds keys, and who knows your routines. Do these things calmly, not because disaster is guaranteed, but because stewardship matters. There may also be a deeper warning within your own heart. Perhaps resentment has been living in one room of your life. Perhaps secrecy has been standing near the door. Perhaps constant conflict has become normal. My beloved child, danger is not always a person outside. Sometimes it is a pattern inside that slowly weakens trust, dignity, and rest. Do not delay the truth you already know. Begin with one honest action today. Pray, observe, write, repair, ask, rest. You do not need to solve everything at once. You only need to stop ignoring what deserves care. Do not measure this warning by how dramatic it feels. Some of my most important guidance arrives quietly through a concern you can verify, a responsibility you can fulfill, or a conversation you can no longer postpone. The purpose is not to keep you watching shadows. The purpose is to help you live awake, grounded, prayerful, and prepared. Stay close as this conversation continues. Before you can understand how to protect your home, you must understand what your home represents in your life. It is more than walls and possessions. It is connected to peace, belonging, memory, responsibility, and the foundation from which you meet the world. My beloved child, in the next part, I will show you why guarding your home begins with recognizing its deeper meaning. My beloved child, you have heard my warning to become awake without becoming afraid. Now I want you to understand why your home truly matters. It is more than a roof, a key, an address, or a collection of rooms. Your home is the place where your body should be able to rest, where your mind should be allowed to become quiet, and where your heart should not need to remain guarded every moment. A home carries the weight of ordinary life. It holds morning routines, private conversations, family meals, difficult decisions, laughter, grief, and the habits that shape who you are becoming. My beloved child, what happens inside your home touches the way you speak, work, trust, pray, and relate to others. The atmosphere within those walls can strengthen you, or it can drain you. This is why I care about your home. I care about the words spoken there. I care about the silence that follows conflict. I care about whether people feel safe enough to tell the truth. I care about whether rest is honored, whether boundaries are respected, and whether love is expressed through responsibility rather than control. When Joshua declared that his household would serve me, he was not only making a religious statement, he was naming the direction of the home. He was saying that the values practiced inside those walls would not be left to chance. My beloved child, every home is shaped by repeated choices. Peace does not appear because people avoid every difficult subject. Peace grows when truth, humility, forgiveness, and wise boundaries are practiced consistently. Your home also represents belonging. You were created with a need for places where you do not have to perform in order to be accepted. Yet some of you learned that home was the place where you had to stay careful. You watched moods, adjusted your voice, hid parts of yourself, or tried to prevent conflict before it began. My beloved child, if this has been your experience, I am not asking you to pretend that home always felt safe. I am inviting you to help build a different pattern now. A healthy home is not a perfect home. People still misunderstand one another. Fatigue still shortens patience. Mistakes still happen. But repair is possible. Apologies are not treated as weakness. Questions are not punished. Boundaries are not mocked. The truth can enter the room without destroying everyone's dignity. Your home carries memory as well. Certain rooms may remind you of joy. Others may hold the echo of an argument, an illness, a loss, or a season of fear. A table can remind you of someone who is no longer there. A doorway can awaken the memory of the day someone left. My beloved child, objects and spaces can hold emotional meaning because your body remembers where important things happened. Do not shame yourself if a room feels heavy. Pause and ask what the feeling is connected to. Perhaps grief needs to be named. Perhaps a conversation needs to happen. Perhaps the room simply needs light, order, fresh air, or a new purpose. Prayer can become part of this process, but prayer does not require you to deny what your mind and body remember. You may choose to walk through your home slowly and speak words of peace. not as a magical formula, but as an act of attention. Thank me for the shelter you have. Ask for wisdom where tension remains. Bless the people who live there. Open the curtains. Repair what is broken. Remove what keeps reminding you to remain trapped in an old season. My beloved, childcare for the physical space can support the healing of the emotional one. Your home also represents stewardship. Whether you own, rent, share, or temporarily stay in a place, you have responsibilities connected to it. Bills need attention. Agreements need to be understood. Repairs need to be reported. Safety concerns need to be addressed. Important documents need to be kept. My beloved child, spiritual peace does not excuse practical neglect. Read what you sign. Keep copies of agreements. Know your rights and responsibilities. Ask questions when language is unclear. Seek qualified legal or housing guidance if a dispute becomes serious. Do not allow embarrassment to keep you uninformed. Wisdom often protects through preparation long before a crisis appears. If other people share the home, clarity matters. Who is responsible for what? Who has a key? Who may invite visitors? How are expenses handled? How is privacy respected? These may sound like ordinary questions, but unspoken expectations can become sources of conflict. My beloved child, many problems grow in the space where people assumed instead of speaking. Your home can also reveal the condition of your relationships. Notice whether someone uses the home as a place of rest or as a place of control. Notice whether one person makes every decision. Notice whether fear determines what can be discussed. Notice whether affection is withdrawn as punishment. Patterns inside a home can tell you what words outside it try to hide. Do not become suspicious of everyone. I am not calling you to examine every gesture as evidence of betrayal. I am calling you to notice repeated behavior. One difficult day is not the same as a pattern. One misunderstanding is not the same as manipulation. My beloved child, discernment is patient. It gathers facts, asks questions, and gives truth time to become clear. Your home also represents the foundation from which you meet the world. When home provides rest, you carry greater patience into work and relationships. When home is filled with unresolved tension, you may carry that tension everywhere. This is not a reason for blame. It is a reason to take the atmosphere seriously. Begin with what you can influence. Lower your voice before conflict becomes shouting. Refuse insults. Create times when devices are set aside. Let people finish speaking. Apologize specifically. Ask what support is needed. Protect sleep. Share responsibilities. My beloved child, a peaceful home is built through ordinary practices more often than dramatic moments. If you live alone, your home still matters. It can become a place where isolation grows or a place where rest, prayer, creativity, and healthy connection are supported. Invite trustworthy people into your life. Do not let privacy become complete withdrawal. Create routines that remind you that your life deserves care, even when no one else is watching. And if your housing situation is unstable, I see the stress that creates. I will not shame you for feeling afraid. Seek help early. Speak with trusted people, local services, qualified advisors, or organizations that understand housing concerns. My beloved child, asking for help is not failure. It is one way you protect the life entrusted to you. Now you understand why your home deserves attention. It carries peace, memory, responsibility, relationships, and the foundation of daily life. But because it matters so deeply, unhealthy influence can sometimes enter quietly through trust access, secrecy, or repeated pressure. In the next part, I will help you recognize the difference between ordinary conflict and patterns that may reveal betrayal nearby, so you can respond with facts, wisdom, boundaries, and calm discernment. My beloved child, now that you understand what your home represents, you must also understand how trust can be misused near the places you value most. I am not telling you that everyone around you is dangerous. I am not asking you to become suspicious of every smile, every silence, or every mistake. I am asking you to become honest about repeated patterns that may have been easier to excuse than to confront. Betrayal rarely begins with a dramatic announcement. It often enters quietly through access, familiarity, and unspoken assumptions. A person knows your routine. They understand what you fear. They know which questions make you uncomfortable and which boundaries you have struggled to keep. My beloved child, closeness can create safety, but closeness can also be misused when character is weak and accountability is absent. Think of Judas sitting at the table with Jesus. He was not an outsider standing at a distance. He shared meals, heard truth, and walked among people who trusted him. Yet his private decisions moved in another direction. This does not mean you should compare every disappointing person to Judas. It means proximity is not the same as loyalty. Time spent near you does not automatically prove that someone is acting for your good. Pay attention to consistency. Does the person say one thing to you and another thing to others? Do their promises change when responsibility appears? Do they become defensive when you ask a reasonable question? Do they pressure you to decide quickly before you can review the facts? My beloved child, one mistake may require grace. A repeated pattern requires discernment. Betrayal may involve money, information, housing, relationships, or private conversations. Someone may share what you ask them to keep confidential. Someone may use your financial dependence to control your choices. Someone may pressure you to sign an agreement you do not fully understand. Someone may speak for you without permission. Do not assume that any of these things are happening without evidence. But if they are happening, do not call them harmless simply because the person is familiar. You have sometimes ignored warning signs because you feared conflict. You told yourself that asking questions would make you look ungrateful. You believed keeping peace was more important than understanding the truth. My beloved child, peace built on confusion is fragile. Honest questions do not destroy healthy relationships. They reveal whether trust can carry weight. Ask for clarity. Request documents. Read messages carefully. Keep copies of agreements. Write down dates and specific events if a pattern is serious. Speak with someone qualified when the issue concerns housing, finances, safety, or legal rights. Prayer can steady your heart, but prayer is not a substitute for facts. Wisdom uses both. Do not decide that a person is guilty because of a dream, a feeling, or a sudden fear. Your emotions may alert you that something deserves attention, but they are not complete evidence. My beloved child, let concern lead you toward careful observation, not accusation. Let facts become clearer before you make a serious claim. There may also be unhealthy influence that is not intentional betrayal. A family member may act from fear. A friend may give poor advice because they do not understand the situation. A neighbor may cross a boundary without realizing its importance. Not every harmful action comes from a secret plan. Sometimes the right response is a direct conversation, a clearer agreement, or a stronger boundary. Speak specifically. Say what happened, not what you imagine they intended. Explain what needs to change. Give the person an opportunity to respond when it is safe to do so. My beloved child, maturity does not avoid difficult conversations, and it does not enter them with a verdict already written. Watch what happens after the conversation. Do they accept responsibility? Do they respect the new boundary? Do their actions change over time, or do they minimize, blame, deny, and continue the same behavior? Words can create hope, but patterns reveal character. There are moments when you may need distance. Distance is not always punishment. It can give you space to think clearly, seek counsel, and protect what has been entrusted to you. You may need to limit access to your home personal information, money, or schedule. My beloved child, trust can be adjusted when evidence changes. If the situation involves threats, coercion, stalking, violence, fraud, or attempts to remove you from your home unlawfully, do not handle it alone. Contact the proper authorities, legal services, housing advisors, or trusted people who can help you remain safe. I do not ask you to prove faith by remaining exposed to danger. Betrayal can awaken old wounds. A current misunderstanding may remind you of someone who lied before. Your body may react before your mind understands why. Pause. Ask whether the present facts match the past fear. My beloved child, do not let yesterday choose the verdict for today, but do not ignore what yesterday taught you either. You may discover that the person you feared is not acting against you. If so, be willing to correct your assumption. Humility protects relationships from unnecessary damage. You may also discover that the pattern is more serious than you wanted to believe. If so, be willing to act. Courage protects you from remaining trapped in denial. Do not spread suspicion through gossip. Tell only those who need to know or those who can offer wise support. Public accusation can create harm that cannot easily be repaired. My beloved child, truth does not need exaggeration. It needs accuracy, patience, and integrity. I also want you to examine your own behavior. Have you hidden information, broken confidence, or used silence to control someone? Have you expected trust while avoiding accountability? Betrayal is easier to recognize in another person than within yourself. Let this warning make you honest, not self-righteous. If you have caused, admit it clearly. Do not blame stress, fear, or another person for every choice. Repair what can be repaired. Accept that trust may take time to rebuild. My beloved child, repentance is not a dramatic promise. It is truth followed by changed behavior. You do not need to live in fear of betrayal. You need to live awake. Keep your heart open, but let trust grow through consistency. Love people, but do not abandon wisdom. Forgive, but do not remove necessary boundaries. Pray, but also observe. Listen, but verify what matters. I will remain near as you seek truth with patience and humility. The purpose of this part of our conversation is not to make your home feel unsafe. It is to help you protect peace without losing compassion. Betrayal hidden nearby is recognized through patterns, facts, counsel, and time. It is not discovered through panic. My beloved child, once truth begins to come into focus, fear may still rise. You may wonder whether you are protected while you gather information and make wise decisions. In the next part, I will show you how to receive the shield around your home, not as a promise that hardship will never come, but as courage, peace, prayer, and wisdom that help you stand without being controlled by fear. My beloved child, now that truth is beginning to come into focus, I want you to receive the shield around your home, not a shield made from fear, suspicion, or angry words. I am speaking about the protection that grows through prayer, wisdom, truth, calm, action, and the steady knowledge that you are not facing uncertainty alone. You may feel exposed when you begin asking hard questions. You may wonder whether looking closely at a situation will make the danger more real. But hiding does not create safety. My beloved child, light does not create what was hidden. Light simply helps you see what needs attention. The psalmist spoke of dwelling in the shelter of the Most High and resting under the shadow of the Almighty. That promise was never meant to make you careless. It was meant to remind you that your courage does not come from having complete control. Your courage comes from knowing that I remain near while you act with wisdom. Picture your home for a moment. Think of the front door, the windows, the rooms where people gather, and the quiet places where you pray. Let each space remind you that peace is something to practice. Speak gently there. Tell the truth there. Repair what is broken there. Let your home become a place where fear is not given authority. My beloved child, my protection is not a magical wall that removes every difficulty. It is my presence guiding you through difficulty. It is the wisdom to notice a problem early. It is the courage to ask for help. It is the calmness to avoid reckless decisions. It is the strength to keep a boundary, even when someone tries to make you feel guilty. When Nehemiah rebuilt the wall, the people prayed and kept watch. They worked with attention. They organized responsibility. They did not abandon faith, and they did not abandon preparation. This is the shield I want you to receive. Pray with your whole heart, then check what needs to be checked. Trust me, then take the responsible step. Walk through your home slowly if you are able. Do not search for signs of darkness in every corner. Instead, notice what requires care. Is a lock broken? Is a window difficult to close? Are important documents scattered? Does someone have a key who no longer needs access? Is there an agreement you have not read carefully? My beloved child, practical attention can become an expression of peace. You may choose to pray in each room. Thank me for the shelter you have. Ask for wisdom over conversations, finances, relationships, and decisions. Ask that truth be welcomed and manipulation be refused. Ask that everyone inside learn to speak with respect. This prayer is not a formula. It is a way of bringing your attention, your home, and your responsibilities before me. Let the shield around your home include healthy communication. Many households become unsafe emotionally before anyone recognizes what is happening. People stop listening. Anger becomes normal. Silence becomes punishment. One person controls every decision. My beloved child, peace requires more than quiet rooms. It requires truth without humiliation and boundaries without cruelty. If conflict is growing, choose a calm time to speak. Use clear examples. Avoid threats and insults. Ask what can be repaired. If the conversation becomes unsafe, step away and seek support. You do not have to remain in a room where intimidation, violence, or coercion is taking place. My protection may reach you through a trusted person, a counselor, a shelter, a lawyer, or the proper authority. Receive the shield of discernment. Discernment does not make quick accusations. It observes patterns. It compares words with actions. It allows time to reveal character. My beloved child, do not let charm erase repeated dishonesty. Do not let fear turn one mistake into a final verdict. Stay patient enough to see clearly. Receive the shield of boundaries. A boundary may sound like a closed door, but its purpose is not always rejection. It can protect rest, privacy, money information, and emotional safety. You may decide who enters your home, who receives personal details, and which conversations you are willing to continue. These decisions can be made without hatred. Receive the shield of community. Isolation can make every concern feel larger and every decision feel heavier. Tell someone trustworthy what is happening. Ask them to help you review the facts. Invite wise counsel before making a serious move. My beloved child, you are not stronger because you carry everything in secret. Receive the shield of truth. Keep records when an issue affects housing, finances, safety, or legal rights. Save messages, read documents, ask questions. Do not sign what you do not understand. Truth gives shape to concern and protects you from being controlled by rumor or imagination. Receive the shield of rest. Exhaustion can make fear louder. A tired mind may interpret every delay as danger and every silence as betrayal. Sleep when you can. Eat regularly. Step away from constant checking. Breathe slowly. My beloved child, rest does not mean you are ignoring the problem. It helps you respond with greater clarity. There may be moments when you want an immediate sign that everything will be safe. I understand that desire, but I will not ask you to build faith on certainty that no hardship will come. I will teach you to build faith on my presence, your growing wisdom, and the support available to you. Remember Jesus calming the storm. The disciples feared because the waves were real. He did not shame them for noticing the danger. He invited them to trust that fear was not the only truth present in the boat. My beloved child, the storm may deserve attention, but it does not deserve complete control over your mind. So speak peace over your home, but also practice peace within it. Check the doors, but also examine the words that pass through them. Guard the windows, but also guard what enters your thoughts. Protect your information, but also protect your heart from bitterness. Let your home be covered by prayer and strengthened by wisdom. You do not need to imagine angels standing in every corner before you can believe that I care. You can rest in the truth that my guidance is available, my wisdom can meet you, and my love does not abandon you when circumstances feel uncertain. Ask, listen, verify, and act. My beloved child, receive this shield now. Let fear loosen its grip. Let wisdom take its place. Let prayer steady your heart. Let truth guide your steps. Let support surround you. Let your home become a place where peace is protected through daily choices. You are not powerless in this moment. Each careful choice can strengthen safety, restore order, and make room for peace to remain within you. The next part of this conversation will go deeper into prayer itself. You have learned that protection is not panic, and that faith is not carelessness. Now I will show you how to pray before fear takes control, so your words do not rise from desperation, but from trust, clarity, and a heart made steady in my presence. My beloved child, now that you have received the shield of prayer and wisdom, I want to teach you how to pray before fear takes control. Fear moves quickly. It tries to reach your thoughts before facts are clear. It speaks in urgent sentences. It tells you that danger is certain, that betrayal is everywhere, and that you must act before understanding. Prayer slows that rush. Prayer brings your mind back into my presence where fear is heard but not obeyed. Take a slow breath. Let the room become quiet. Notice what your body is doing. Is your chest tight? Are your shoulders raised? Is your breathing shallow? My beloved child, your body may react before your thoughts are organized. This does not mean every fear is true. It means something inside you needs attention. Begin prayer by becoming present. You do not need impressive words. Say what is real. Tell me that you are afraid. Tell me what you think may happen. Tell me which conversation, message, document, or change has disturbed your peace. I know, but honesty helps you stop carrying the concern alone. The psalmist often spoke to me from places of fear and confusion. He did not pretend courage before he felt it. He brought the fear into prayer, then reminded himself that trust was still possible. My beloved child, faith is not the denial of fear. Faith is the decision to bring fear somewhere wiser than imagination. Ask me to separate what is true from what is assumed. Fear often joins facts and possibilities until they feel identical. Perhaps you received a message. That is a fact. The belief that everyone is secretly against you may be an assumption. Perhaps someone missed a payment or changed an agreement. That deserves attention. Write down what you know. Write down what you do not know. Then pray over both lists. Ask for courage to face the facts and patience to leave unanswered questions unanswered until more information appears. My beloved child, uncertainty is uncomfortable, but it is not permission to invent certainty. Prayer before panic also protects your words. Fear may tempt you to send an angry message, accuse someone publicly, or demand an immediate answer. Pause, pray before you speak. Ask whether your words are clear, necessary, and respectful. Ask whether the conversation is safe. Ask whether someone should be present. Remember Jesus before difficult moments. He withdrew to pray not because responsibility did not matter, but because he would not let pressure decide his direction. My beloved child, you may also need a quiet place before a serious conversation. 10 minutes can prevent words that take months to repair. Pray for wisdom, but do not expect wisdom to remove every difficult choice. Sometimes wisdom shows you that a boundary is needed. Sometimes it shows you that you misunderstood. Sometimes it tells you to wait, gather documents, ask another question, or seek professional help. Prayer does not always make the situation simple. It can make your next step clearer. If your concern involves housing, money, safety, or legal rights, pray, and then seek qualified guidance. Speak with someone who understands the issue. Keep records, read agreements, ask about your options. My beloved child, seeking knowledge is not evidence that you lack faith. It is one way you refuse to let fear keep you uninformed. Do not pray as though you must convince me to care. My love is not awakened by the intensity of your voice. You do not need to repeat a phrase until heaven is forced to respond. Speak sincerely, listen quietly, then act responsibly. Prayer is relationship, not a transaction. You may choose to walk through your home while you pray. Let each room remind you of a responsibility. In the kitchen, pray for provision and wise stewardship. In the place where people gather, pray for respectful communication. Near the door, pray for discernment about access and boundaries. Where you sleep, pray for rest. My beloved child, let prayer connect your faith with the life you live. Do not use prayer to search for a hidden enemy in every person. Ask instead for clear judgment. Ask to recognize repeated dishonesty, manipulation, coercion, or unsafe behavior. Also ask for humility to admit when fear has made you unfair. Discernment must protect truth in both directions. Fear may tell you that a heavy feeling is proof of danger. Sometimes discomfort points to a real issue. Sometimes it comes from exhaustion, memory, anxiety, or unresolved grief. Pray, then examine the context. Did something happen? Is there a repeated pattern? Has your body been under stress? My beloved child, a feeling deserves attention, but it should not become a verdict by itself. Prayer before fear takes control also means refusing spiritual pressure. No person should tell you that you must comment, give money, share a message, or perform a ritual in order to receive my protection. My care is not purchased through urgency. I may call you to act, but I will not manipulate you through terror or shame. When fear rises at night, return to simple truth. You are here. You are breathing. This moment can be faced one step at a time. Ask what needs attention tonight and what can wait until morning. Lock the door if needed. Write a reminder. Contact someone trustworthy. Then allow your body to rest. My beloved child, not every concern must be solved before sleep. Sometimes faith looks like placing the unfinished matter in my hands and choosing to return to it clearly. Rest can become part of wisdom. You may also need prayer with someone. Isolation can magnify fear. Choose someone calm, trustworthy, and discreet. Tell them the facts. Ask them to pray with you and help you think. Avoid people who increase panic, spread gossip, or make confident claims without evidence. Healthy support should help you become clearer, not more confused. As you pray, let gratitude steady you. Name what remains secure. Name the people who have been faithful. Name the resources near. Gratitude does not deny risk. It prevents risk from becoming the only thing you can see. Then make one practical decision. Perhaps you will review a document, repair a lock, schedule a conversation, update a password, or contact an advisor. Do not try to complete every task at once. My beloved child, faithful action becomes stronger when it is specific and calm. Pray again after you act. Ask whether new information changes your understanding. Be willing to revise your conclusion. Wisdom remains teachable. Fear wants an immediate enemy. Discernment wants the truth. My beloved child, let prayer become the place where panic loses speed and courage gains direction. Bring me your fear before it becomes accusation. Bring me your questions before they become stories. Bring me your concern before it becomes control. I will meet you with peace, wisdom, and the strength to take the next responsible step. As your heart becomes steadier, you will be ready to look at the people around you more clearly. The next part of this conversation will teach you how to watch with discernment, not suspicion, and how to recognize character through patterns, consistency, facts, boundaries, and time. My beloved child, now that prayer has slowed the rush of fear, you are ready to look at the people around you with clearer eyes. I am not asking you to become suspicious. I am teaching you discernment. Suspicion assumes guilt before truth is known. Discernment watches, listens, asks, compares, and waits long enough for character to reveal itself. You have sometimes trusted words because you wanted peace. A person promised change, offered comfort, or spoke with confidence, and you hoped the tone meant the heart was safe. My beloved child, kind words can be sincere, but words alone are not enough. Watch what happens after the conversation. Does the behavior agree with the promise? Does responsibility follow the apology? Does respect remain when you say no? Jesus taught that a tree is recognized by its fruit. He did not say you should judge a person by one difficult moment. Fruit grows through repeated patterns. In the same way, character becomes clearer over time. One mistake may need patience. A consistent pattern of dishonesty, control, blame, or disrespect deserves careful attention. Pay attention to how people respond when they do not get what they want. Anyone can appear calm while everything is going their way. Character is often revealed by disappointment. Does the person become threatening, insulting, or manipulative? Do they punish you with silence? Do they pressure you to change your boundary? My beloved child, discomfort does not give anyone permission to remove your dignity. Notice how they handle truth. Can they admit a mistake without creating a new excuse? Can they hear your experience without immediately turning the conversation back toward themselves? Can they accept correction without trying to humiliate you? Healthy people are not perfect, but they can remain accountable. Discernment also pays attention to secrecy. Some privacy is healthy. Every person does not need access to every detail. But secrecy becomes dangerous when someone asks you to hide agreements, money, messages, or behavior that affects your safety. My beloved child, do not accept the claim that love requires you to keep harmful secrets. If someone says that no one else can understand, that you must decide immediately, or that asking for advice proves disloyalty, slow down. Pressure often weakens judgment. Ask for time. Read the document. Speak with someone qualified. A healthy opportunity can survive reasonable questions. Do not rely only on how a person makes you feel. Charm can create comfort before trust has been earned. Anxiety can also make a safe person feel threatening because they remind you of someone from the past. My beloved child, feelings provide information, but evidence gives direction. Look at facts. What was said, what was done, what changed, who was present. Is there a record? Has the pattern happened before? This kind of attention protects you from both denial and false accusation. Truth does not need imagination to become stronger. You may notice changes in tone, unusual insistence, or contradictions. Do not ignore them, but do not build a complete story from one detail. Ask a direct question. Give the person a chance to explain. Then compare the explanation with what follows. Discernment is patient enough to gather more than one piece of information. My beloved child, Watch how people treat those from whom they have nothing to gain. Notice how they speak about absent friends. Notice whether they keep another person's confidence. Someone who constantly exposes the private lives of others may eventually expose yours. You do not need to condemn them. You do need to decide how much access is wise. Watch how they treat your home. Do they respect your space, belongings, routines, and rules? Do they enter rooms without permission, borrow things without asking, or invite others without agreement? Small violations may reveal a larger belief that your boundaries do not matter. Speak early when a boundary is crossed. Do not wait until resentment has grown into an explosion. Say what happened and what needs to change. Keep your words simple. My beloved child, a boundary becomes clearer when it is stated before anger takes control. Observe the response. A healthy person may feel disappointed, but they can still respect your limit. A controlling person often turns your boundary into an accusation against you. They may call you selfish, cold, ungrateful, or faithless. Do not let a label replace the facts. Discernment also asks whether a relationship allows mutual responsibility. Are you always the person apologizing, fixing, lending, explaining, and adjusting? Does the other person receive care while refusing to give it? My beloved child, love may involve sacrifice, but a relationship cannot remain healthy when one person carries every consequence. Be careful with people who create repeated emergencies. Every crisis demands your money, time, access, or attention. Helping once may be compassionate. Becoming the permanent solution to another person's refusal to act can become unhealthy. Ask what support truly helps and what support only repeats the pattern. You are allowed to consult wise people before making serious decisions. Speak with a counselor, pastor, attorney, housing advisor, financial professional, or trusted friend when the situation requires it. Choose people who are calm, discreet, and able to distinguish concern from panic. Do not seek advice only from those who always agree with you. My beloved child, confirmation is not the same as wisdom. A trustworthy advisor may challenge your assumption, ask for evidence, or show you where your own fear has influenced the story. You must also watch yourself with discernment. Fear can make you read hostility into silence. Pride can make correction feel like betrayal. Loneliness can make unhealthy attention seem valuable. Examine your own motives with the same honesty you ask from others. If you discover that you misunderstood someone, apologize clearly. Do not protect your image at the cost of another person's dignity. Humility is part of discernment. It allows truth to correct you without destroying your sense of worth. If the pattern is real, act without unnecessary drama. Adjust access, change a password, keep records, limit communication, ask for support. If there is violence, stalking, coercion, fraud, or immediate danger, contact the appropriate professionals or authorities. My beloved child, calm action is stronger than reckless confrontation. Do not allow discernment to harden into isolation. There are trustworthy people. There are relationships where honesty, repair, and mutual care are possible. Let trust grow slowly through consistency. You do not need to give everyone immediate access, and you do not need to close every door forever. Let time help you. Patterns hidden during one conversation often become visible through repeated choices, especially when pressure, money, access, disappointment, or responsibility enters the relationship over longer periods. Remember that I am not teaching you to search for enemies. I am teaching you to recognize fruit. Truth becomes clearer when you remain prayerful, patient, informed, and willing to act. As you learn to watch people wisely, you must also care for the atmosphere in which these relationships unfold. The next part of this conversation will lead you through your home, room by room, not to search for hidden darkness, but to bring prayer, order, truth, and peace into every space you have been entrusted to protect. My beloved child, now that you are learning to watch people with discernment, I want you to turn your attention toward the rooms you enter every day. Walk through your home with prayer, honesty, and care. Let every room become a place where truth can breathe, where peace can grow, and where responsibility is fully welcomed instead of avoided. Begin at the entrance. This is the place where people come in and where you decide who receives access. Thank me for shelter. Ask for wisdom about who enters, what conversations cross that threshold, and what boundaries need to remain clear. It represents permission. It reminds you that love can welcome, but wisdom must also decide. Pray that your entrance becomes a place of safety, not fear. Ask for courage to say no when something is not right. Ask for humility to welcome trustworthy people without suspicion. Ask for discernment when someone pressures you, ignores your limits, or treats your home as though your consent does not matter. Prayer should not make you passive, it should make you clearer. Move toward the room where people gather. Perhaps it is a living room, a small table, or a corner where conversations happen. Think about the words spoken there. Have people felt heard? Have arguments become insults? Has silence been used as punishment? My beloved child, consecrating a room means dedicating the way people behave inside it. It means choosing respect when emotions are strong. Pray for conversations that tell the truth without humiliation. Pray that people will listen before answering. Pray for the courage to apologize specifically and repair what can be repaired. If conflict has become unsafe, ask for wisdom to seek support. A peaceful room is not a room where no one speaks. It is a room where honesty does not have to hide. Now enter the kitchen or the place where food is prepared. Give thanks for what is available, even if it is simple. Ask for wisdom in spending, sharing, and planning. My beloved child, provision is not only about abundance, it is also about stewardship, gratitude, and the willingness to ask for help when resources are limited. Let this room remind you that bodies need care. Eating, drinking water, resting, and taking medicine when prescribed are not separate from spiritual life. They are part of honoring what has been entrusted to you. Pray for healthy routines and for freedom from shame around receiving practical support. Go to the place where you sleep. This room may hold some of your deepest thoughts. It may remember nights of worry, grief, or unanswered questions. Notice what your body feels. My beloved child, do not force yourself to feel peaceful. Bring the unrest honestly. Pray for rest that is not controlled by fear. Ask for help releasing what cannot be solved tonight. If sleep has been difficult for a long time, seek medical or professional care. Prayer and treatment can stand together. I can meet you in silence in Scripture through wise counsel and through the hands of people trained to help. If there is a room connected to work, study, or planning, pray there for focus and integrity. Ask that your decisions be guided by truth rather than pressure. Ask for patience with tasks that take time. My beloved child, let that space become a place where you work responsibly without turning productivity into your identity. Remove what constantly distracts you. Organize what has been neglected. Keep important papers where you can find them. Order can create room for clearer thought. If your home includes a child's room, a guest room, or a place used by another person, pray for their dignity and safety. Ask how your actions affect them. Are their boundaries respected? Can they speak honestly? Do they know how to ask for help? My beloved child, protection is not control. It is creating conditions where truth can be spoken and care can be received. Pray for children to grow without carrying adult burdens. Pray for older family members to be treated with patience. Pray for guests to experience kindness without being given access that has not been earned. Every person inside the home has value, and every person also has responsibility. There may be a room you avoid because it holds memories. Perhaps someone left there. Perhaps a painful conversation happened there. Perhaps illness changed the meaning of that space. Do not rush yourself. Enter when you are ready. Open the curtains. Sit with someone trustworthy. Speak the memory aloud. My beloved child, prayer does not erase history. It can help you stop letting history control the room forever. You may rearrange furniture, remove an object, clean the space, or give it a new purpose. These actions are not magic. They are ways of telling your mind and body that the present can become different from the past. Do not become afraid of shadows, sounds, or ordinary discomfort. Memories can change how a room feels. Ask what is practical before assuming what is spiritual. Check the source of the sound. Repair what is broken. Seek support when anxiety becomes difficult to manage. You may light a candle if it helps you slow down and pray, but the candle does not create my presence. You may hold water, touch a doorway, or read Scripture aloud as a meaningful reminder, but these actions do not purchase protection. My beloved child, symbols can support attention. They must never replace wisdom, truth, or responsible care. Remember the households in Scripture where prayer and hospitality met. Lydia opened her home and it became a place of welcome and community. Yet welcome was not carelessness. A healthy home can be open-hearted while remaining wise. It can serve others without losing its boundaries. As you move from room to room, speak simple words. Let truth live here. Let peace guide us here. Let responsibility grow here. Let fear lose its control here. Let love remain honest here. My beloved child, these prayers are not commands that force outcomes. They are commitments about how you intend to live. Then listen. Is there a repair you have delayed? Is there a conversation that needs planning? Is there a document that needs attention? Is there a person whose access should be reviewed? Prayer should lead you toward responsible action, not away from it. Consecrating every room means offering the life of the home to me. It means the visible and hidden parts. It means money, conflict, rest, work, relationships, privacy, and safety. It means asking that your home become more truthful, more peaceful, and more responsible. My beloved child, finish this walk without panic. Give thanks for one good thing in each room. Name one concern that deserves care. Choose one action you can take. You do not need to solve the entire household tonight. Faithfulness often begins with one repaired lock, one honest conversation, one organized document, or one request for help. In the next part of this conversation, prayer will move into practical protection. You will learn how to secure doors, windows, records, agreements, routines, and access without allowing fear to rule your home. Prayer has prepared your heart. Now wisdom will guide your hands. My beloved child, prayer has prepared your heart, and now wisdom must guide your hands. Peace is not protected by worry alone. It is strengthened when you notice what needs attention and respond with calm responsibility. You do not need to imagine danger everywhere. You do need to care for the place entrusted to you with honesty, order, and practical preparation. Begin with the doors. Check whether each lock works as it should. Notice whether a key has been lost, copied, or left with someone who no longer needs access. If a lock is damaged, repair it. If you recently moved, consider whether the locks should be changed. My beloved child, a simple repair can prevent confusion from becoming a larger problem. Look at the windows. Make sure they close securely. Check whether screens, latches, or frames need attention. Clear anything that blocks your view near an entrance. Good lighting can also make a home feel safer and help you notice what is happening outside. These steps are not signs of fear, they are signs of stewardship. Remember how Nehemiah organized the people while the wall was being rebuilt. Everyone had a place, a responsibility, and an understanding of what needed protection. Prayer did not replace preparation. Preparation did not replace trust. Together they created a steady response that protected the people without allowing fear to become their leader each day. My beloved child, let the same balance guide your home. Know who has permission to enter. Family members, friends, workers, neighbors, and service providers may need access at different times. Make the expectations clear. Do not leave spare keys in obvious places. Do not allow guilt to pressure you into giving access that is unnecessary. Hospitality can remain warm while boundaries remain firm. If someone arrives without warning, you are allowed to ask who they are and why they have come. You are allowed to speak through a closed door. You are allowed to verify an identity before opening. My beloved child, caution is not disrespect. It is wisdom when practiced calmly. Teach everyone in the household the same basic expectations. Children should know not to open the door without permission. Older family members should know who to contact if they feel confused or pressured. Everyone should understand what to do if a stranger refuses to leave. A simple plan can reduce panic when something unexpected happens. Keep emergency contacts where they can be found. Include trusted family members, neighbors, medical support, building management, housing services, and local authorities when appropriate. My beloved child, help becomes easier to receive when you know whom to call before a crisis begins. Pay attention to important documents. Keep housing agreements, payment records, identification, insurance information, and repair requests in one secure place. Make copies when necessary. Read notices carefully. Do not throw away a letter because it makes you anxious. Information can be uncomfortable, but ignoring it rarely makes the issue disappear. If a letter concerns rent ownership, eviction debt, or a legal dispute, seek qualified advice early. Do not rely only on rumors or the confident opinion of someone who is not trained. Speak with a housing advisor, attorney, tenant organization, or appropriate local service. My beloved child, understanding your rights and responsibilities can protect you from both fear and misinformation. Keep records of serious concerns. Write down dates, times, names, and what actually happened. Save relevant messages and photographs. Separate what you observed from what you assumed. Accurate records can help a trusted advisor understand the situation. They can also keep your memory from becoming confused under stress. Do not use records as a weapon for revenge. Use them to preserve truth. My beloved child, facts should support wise action, not feed obsession. Once the information is safely stored, allow yourself to return to daily life instead of checking it constantly. Notice the routines around your home. Are packages left outside for long periods? Is mail collected regularly? Does someone often announce online when the house will be empty? Are visitors able to see valuable items from a window? Small changes can reduce unnecessary exposure without turning your home into a prison. Speak with trusted neighbors when appropriate. A healthy neighbor can notice a broken window, unusual activity, or a package left outside. You do not need to share private fears or accuse anyone. Simply build respectful communication. My beloved child, community can become part of safety when it is grounded in truth rather than gossip. If you live in a shared building, understand how entry systems, common areas, maintenance requests, and visitor policies work. Report broken lights, doors, gates, or alarms. Keep a copy of the report. Follow up politely if the issue remains unresolved. Responsible persistence is not complaining. It is care for a shared environment. If someone has threatened you, tried to force entry, followed you, controlled your movements, or used violence, take the concern seriously. Move toward safety. Contact the proper authorities or a trusted service. Tell someone reliable what is happening. Do not meet the person alone in order to prove courage. My beloved child, your safety matters more than maintaining appearances. Create a family plan for emergencies. Decide where to meet, whom to call, and how to leave safely if needed. This does not mean disaster is certain. It means preparation can help people think more clearly during pressure. Check smoke alarms, electrical concerns, heating systems, and other ordinary risks as well. Not every threat comes from another person. A loose wire, blocked exit gas smell, or neglected repair can also disturb the safety of a home. My beloved child, practical protection includes attending to what is ordinary and visible. Do not let this process become endless. Choose a reasonable time to review the home, make a list, and address the most important concerns. Then stop. Fear may tell you to inspect every corner again and again. Wisdom completes the necessary task and allows rest to return. Ask someone trustworthy to help if the work feels overwhelming. They may notice something you missed or help you decide what matters first. A calm second perspective can keep a concern from becoming larger in your mind than it is in reality. As you make these preparations, continue speaking peace. Say that this home will be guided by truth, responsibility, and respect. Let your actions agree with the prayer. Repair what is broken. Clarify who has access. Organize the documents. Build the support. My beloved child, this is how faith becomes visible through stewardship. You may discover that practical action brings strong emotions to the surface. Repairing a lock may remind you of a time when trust was broken. Reading a document may awaken anger towards someone who acted dishonestly. Creating a boundary may bring back resentment you thought had disappeared. Do not let those emotions choose your next move. Feel them, name them, bring them to me. Keep the boundary but refuse revenge. Protect your home but do not build hatred inside it. My beloved child, the next part of this conversation will show you how to refuse anger and release resentment without becoming passive, careless, or unprotected. My beloved child, practical protection may awaken emotions you thought were already settled. Repairing a lock can remind you of the day trust was broken. Reading an old message can bring anger back into your chest. Setting a boundary can make resentment rise because part of you still remembers how often your kindness was used. Do not be ashamed of these reactions. They are signals that pain still needs truth, care, and release. Anger is not always your enemy. It can tell you that something mattered, that a boundary was crossed, or that dignity was ignored. My beloved child, the problem begins when anger becomes your leader. It may push you toward accusation, revenge, harsh words, or decisions made before the facts are clear. Feel the anger, but do not hand it authority. Pause before responding. Let your body slow down. Unclench your hands. Breathe deeply. Step away from the message. the door, or the conversation if you need space. This is not weakness. It is wisdom creating room between emotion and action. A short pause can protect your peace, your safety, and the truth you are trying to defend. Bring the anger to me honestly. Do not hide it beneath polite religious words. Tell me what happened. Tell me what you wanted to say. Tell me what you fear will happen next. My beloved child, prayer is not a place where you pretend to be calm. It is a place where anger can be named before it becomes harm. The Psalms contain questions, grief, and even cries for justice. They show that you can speak honestly without becoming cruel. You can ask me to help you defend what is right and guide your decisions. But you do not need to ask for another person to be humiliated in order for you to heal. Resentment is different from the first flame of anger. Resentment keeps the fire burning long after the moment has passed. It replays the event, rebuilds the argument, and imagines the day when the other person finally suffers enough to understand. My beloved child, resentment feels like protection, but it keeps your inner life connected to the wound. Release does not mean saying the harm was acceptable. It does not mean forgetting facts, dropping legal action, or reopening access. It means refusing to let revenge become your daily occupation. You can keep records, seek justice, maintain distance, and still release the desire to destroy the person who harmed you. Remember Joseph when he stood before the brothers who had betrayed him. He did not pretend the past was small. He tested whether their character had changed. He spoke truth. He allowed responsibility to become visible. Yet he did not use his position to repeat the cruelty he had suffered. My beloved child, mercy can remain wise. Forgiveness should never be used to pressure you back into danger. If someone has threatened, controlled, stalked, assaulted, cheated, or repeatedly intimidated you, boundaries may need to remain strong. Seek qualified help. Use legal, medical, housing, or professional support when needed. Forgiveness and safety are not enemies. You may not feel ready to forgive today. Begin with willingness. Say that you do not want bitterness to become your permanent home. Ask for help releasing one part of the burden. Perhaps you can release the need to send the angry message. Perhaps you can stop checking their page. Perhaps you can refuse one more imaginary argument. My beloved child, release often happens in layers. A memory may return next week. A name may awaken the same reaction. This does not mean you failed. It means another layer needs attention. Notice what returned. Ground yourself in the present. Repeat the boundary. Ask for support. Choose again. Do not confuse forgiveness with restored trust. Trust is rebuilt through consistent truth, accountability, changed behavior, and time. An apology can begin a process, but it cannot complete it alone. Tears do not replace responsibility. Promises do not erase patterns. Watch what happens after the words. If the person refuses accountability, you may need to grieve what the relationship cannot become. Grief is part of release. You may be mourning not only what happened, but also the future you imagined, the safety you expected, or the version of the person you believed was real. Let yourself feel that grief without turning back toward harm. Cry if you need to. Speak with someone trustworthy. Write what you lost. My beloved child, grief can move through you without becoming your identity. You can honor what mattered and still choose a different path. Anger may also be directed toward yourself. You may blame yourself for trusting, staying, missing a sign, or not acting sooner. Learn what you need to learn, but do not use hindsight as a weapon. You made decisions with the information, strength, and support you had then. Responsibility can teach you without becoming self-hatred. Ask what you can do differently now. Strengthen the boundary. Read the agreement. Tell someone sooner. Protect your information. Seek advice before deciding. My beloved child, wisdom is the fruit you can carry forward. Shame is extra weight you do not need. Refuse anger that wants to control every conversation in your home. Children, partners, relatives, or roommates may begin walking carefully around your moods. If anger has become shouting, threats, broken objects, or intimidation, seek help immediately. Do not excuse harm because you were hurt first. You are responsible for how you express pain. Step away when needed. Learn healthier ways to communicate. A counselor, support group, pastor, or anger management professional can help you build new responses. Receiving support is not failure. It is an act of protection for everyone involved. My beloved child, peace is not pretending nothing happened. Peace is having enough inner steadiness to face what happened without becoming what wounded you. It is telling the truth without losing control. It is maintaining the boundary without feeding hatred. It is seeking justice without making revenge your purpose. Release the person into my care, but keep responsibility in the proper hands. Let authorities handle what belongs to them. Let professionals guide what requires expertise. Let consequences remain where they are necessary. You do not need to carry every role. Do not measure release by whether you never feel angry again. Measure it by what anger is no longer allowed to do. It no longer chooses your words, controls your sleep, directs your spending, or decides whom you can trust. My beloved child, healing may be quiet. It may look like one peaceful evening, one message left unanswered, one honest appointment, or one boundary kept without explanation. These ordinary choices show that resentment is losing its place, and truth is becoming stronger within you each day. As resentment loosens, your attention will become available for other forms of protection. One important area may still be open without your awareness. Your phone accounts, passwords, private messages, location photographs, and daily routines can reveal more than you intend. My beloved child, the next part of this conversation will show you how to guard your digital and personal access with the same prayerful wisdom you are learning to bring into your home. My beloved child, as resentment loosens its grip, your attention can return to what requires wise protection. Your home has doors and windows, but your digital life has entrances too. Your phone accounts, messages, photographs, documents, and daily routines can reveal more than you intend. I am not calling you to fear technology. I am calling you to use it with care. Begin with your passwords. Do not use the same simple word for every account. If one account is exposed, others may become vulnerable. Choose passwords that are difficult to guess and different from one another. My beloved child, convenience should not become an open door for confusion, theft, or control. Use a trusted password manager if that helps you stay organized. Keep recovery information current. Make sure the email address and phone number connected to important accounts still belong to you. Remove old recovery options that another person may control. Small details can become important when access is challenged. Turn on the extra sign and protection offered by your accounts. This may require a code, an approval through a trusted device, or another form of verification. My beloved child, an additional step may feel inconvenient, but it can prevent someone from entering with only a stolen password. Review which devices are signed into your accounts. Remove devices you no longer recognize or use. If you shared a device with someone who no longer needs access, sign out and change the password. Do not assume that an old connection has disappeared simply because the relationship changed. Your phone contains pieces of your life. It may hold private conversations, financial information, family photographs, health details, and your location. Protect it with a secure passcode. Do not share that code carelessly. Update the software when reliable updates become available, because updates often repair weaknesses that were previously discovered. Be careful with unexpected messages. A message may claim that your account will close, that a package is waiting, or that money must be sent immediately. Fear and urgency are often used to weaken judgment. My beloved child, stop before clicking. Open the official application or contact the organization through a verified number instead. Do not send passwords, security codes, banking details, or identification to someone who asks through an unexpected message. A person may sound helpful and still be dishonest. Verify their identity through another trusted channel. Wisdom does not become rude when it asks for proof. Remember how Scripture praises the prudent person who sees danger and takes refuge. Prudence does not hide from life. It notices risk and responds before harm grows. My beloved child, digital wisdom follows the same pattern. You observe, verify, protect, and continue without surrendering your peace. Review the privacy settings on your social accounts. Ask who can see your posts, location, family details, workplace, and daily schedule. You may enjoy sharing your life, but not every detail needs to be public. Information about when your home is empty can become more useful to another person than you realize. Wait before posting travel plans or photographs that reveal your location in real time. Consider sharing after you have returned. Turn off location sharing for applications that do not truly need it. Review which people can see your live location. My beloved child, closeness should never be assumed simply because someone once had permission. Pay attention to photographs. A picture can reveal an address, a document, a school name, a key, a computer screen, or an entry point. Look at the background before posting. This is not about becoming afraid of every image. It is about remembering that a photograph may contain more information than the subject you intended to show. Guard your personal documents. Store identification, financial records, housing agreements, medical information, and account details securely. Shred papers containing sensitive information before discarding them. If you store copies online, use a trusted service and protect the account carefully. Know who can access shared files, calendars, and cloud storage. Old links or shared folders may remain open after a project, friendship, or relationship ends. Review permissions. Remove access that is no longer necessary. My beloved child, closing an old door does not mean you are bitter. It means the purpose for that access has ended. Be careful with public wireless networks when handling sensitive information. Avoid entering financial or personal details when you cannot trust the connection. Wait until you have a safer network if possible. A few minutes of patience can protect information that would take much longer to recover. If you receive a threatening, manipulative, or suspicious message, do not answer in anger. Save a copy. Record the date and account involved. Block or report the sender when appropriate. If the message includes threats, stalking, fraud, or attempts to control, you seek professional or legal support. Do not try to break into another person's account to discover what they are doing. Do not secretly track them, impersonate them, or retaliate online. My beloved child, another person's wrongdoing does not make harmful behavior wise. Protect yourself through lawful, truthful, and responsible channels. Teach the people in your home these practices. Children may need help recognizing unsafe messages and requests for private information. Older relatives may need patient guidance about scams. Do not shame them for being confused. Explain calmly that trustworthy organizations do not pressure people to reveal secrets or transfer money without verification. Create a simple plan for what to do if an account is compromised. Change the password, sign out other devices, contact the official provider, inform the bank if money is involved. Tell a trusted person, keep records. My beloved child, preparation can reduce panic when something unexpected happens. Review automatic payments and account activity regularly, but do not check constantly. Choose a reasonable rhythm. Wisdom pays attention. Fear demands endless reassurance. If you notice an unfamiliar charge or change, investigate it through the proper service rather than assuming who is responsible. Your private conversations also deserve care. Before forwarding a message or sharing a screenshot, ask whether you have permission. Do not expose another person's pain for attention. The same respect you desire should guide how you handle information entrusted to you. Be thoughtful about what you tell people who have not earned deep access. Loneliness may make immediate openness feel comforting, but trust should grow through consistency. My beloved child, you can be warm without revealing every detail of your finances, home, family, or schedule. If managing these protections feels overwhelming, ask a trusted person or qualified professional to help. Choose someone patient and accountable. Stay present while changes are made. Do not hand over complete control unless there is a clear and necessary reason. Pray as you review these areas. Ask for clarity, not hidden signs. Ask for patience, not suspicion. Ask for courage to correct what has been neglected. Then make the changes slowly and carefully. My beloved child, your digital and personal access should serve your life, not expose it carelessly. Guard it with truth, boundaries, knowledge, and calm attention each day. Once these doors are strengthened, you must learn how to remain watchful without allowing vigilance to become fear. That is where our conversation will continue next. My beloved child, now that you have strengthened the doors of your digital and personal life, I want to teach you how to remain alert without becoming afraid. Vigilance is useful when it helps you notice what is real. Fear becomes harmful when it turns every silence, mistake, or unfamiliar face into a threat. I am calling you to stay awake, not to live on edge. Alertness begins with presence. Look at what is actually happening around you. Notice the facts. Watch the pattern over time. My beloved child, do not let imagination rush ahead of evidence. A concerned mind may create a full story from one small detail. Wisdom slows down and asks what is known, what is uncertain, and what still needs to be verified. The watchman in Scripture stood on the walls to observe the road. They were not ordered to shout at every movement. They watched carefully so the people could respond to real danger with order. Let this become your pattern. Observe without exaggerating. Prepare without panicking. Speak when there is something true to say. Fear often announces itself through the body before the mind understands what has happened. Your heart may race, your breathing may shorten. My beloved child, these reactions deserve compassion. They do not automatically prove that danger is present. Pause. Place your feet on the floor. Breathe slowly. Name where you are and what you can see. Ask yourself whether something has happened in this moment or whether an old memory has been awakened. A sound at the door may remind you of a past event. A change in tone may remind you of someone who once lied. The present deserves to be examined without allowing the past to write the conclusion. Bring the concern to me before fear becomes accusation. Say what you noticed. Say what you do not understand. Ask for wisdom, patience, and courage. My beloved child, prayer is not a way to avoid reality. It is a way to enter reality with a steadier heart. Remember Elijah after victory. He became exhausted, frightened, and convinced that he was alone. I did not shame him. I gave him rest, food, presence, and clearer perspective. Exhaustion can make danger appear larger and support appear farther away than it is. Care for your body if you want your judgment to remain clear. Sleep when possible. Eat regularly. Drink water. Reduce the noise that keeps your nervous system activated. My beloved child, spiritual alertness does not require physical neglect. A rested mind can often distinguish concern from panic more accurately. Set limits on how often you check locks, messages, cameras, accounts, or records. Complete the necessary review, then return to ordinary daily life. Fear will tell you that checking one more time will finally create certainty. It rarely does. Endless checking teaches the mind that danger is always near. Choose a reasonable routine. Review important accounts at planned times. Check the doors before sleep. Respond to messages when you are calm. Keep records where needed. Then let the task be finished. My beloved child, wisdom completes what is responsible. Fear demands repetition without peace. Calm attention will protect more than repeated fearful checking. Remain alert to actual warning signs. Threats, stalking, coercion, fraud, repeated boundary violations, forced entry, or attempts to control your movement deserve serious attention. Do not minimize them. Tell someone trustworthy. Preserve evidence. Seek professional legal, housing, medical, or emergency support according to the situation. You do not have to confront a dangerous person alone. You do not have to prove courage by remaining exposed. My beloved child, moving towards safety is not cowardice. It is a wise response to what is real. At the same time, do not treat every difficult person as dangerous. Someone may communicate poorly without having a secret plan against you. Ask direct questions. Give room for clarification when it is safe. Let repeated actions, not one uncomfortable moment, guide your conclusion. Fear may tempt you to search for hidden meaning in ordinary events. A room may feel uncomfortable. My beloved child, begin with practical explanations. Check practical causes. Consider the memory connected to the room. Notice whether stress has made you more sensitive. Do not create a spiritual threat where ordinary care is needed. Discernment does not need drama to feel important. It may look like reading a document twice. It may mean asking another person to join a conversation. It may mean waiting before answering. Small decisions can protect peace without turning your life into a constant emergency. Be careful about messages that try to keep you afraid. Some people use urgency, secrecy, and spiritual language to gain attention or control. They may say that you must act immediately, share a message, give money, or prove faith in order to remain protected. My beloved child, my care is not purchased through panic. Test what you hear. Does the message agree with truth, responsibility, love, and wise counsel? Does it invite questions? Does it encourage lawful and practical action? Or does it isolate you, shame you, and demand blind obedience? Healthy guidance can be urgent without becoming manipulative. Choose people who help you become calmer and clearer. A trustworthy friend will listen without feeding suspicion. A wise counselor will ask for facts. A qualified professional will explain options without pretending to know what cannot yet be known. My beloved child, support should increase your capacity to think, not make you dependent on another person's certainty. Continue your ordinary responsibilities. Work, eat, rest, care for the people near you, clean the room, answer the necessary message, take a walk. Fear wants your entire life to revolve around one concern. Wisdom gives the concern its proper place and keeps the rest of life moving. Remember Jesus in the storm. The waves were real, but fear made the disciples believe they were abandoned. He addressed both the storm and their hearts. My beloved child, sometimes the situation needs action, and sometimes your heart needs reassurance. Often both are true at the same time. You may not receive complete certainty today. You may need to keep observing. Let that be enough. Uncertainty is not the same as danger. A question can remain open without controlling every thought. Keep praying, keep gathering facts, keep healthy boundaries. Let time reveal what emotion cannot settle quickly. Remain alert, but refuse to let fear become the atmosphere of your home. Children should not have to absorb constant warnings. Family members should not feel watched, accused, or tested without cause. Speak about safety calmly. Make clear plans. Then return to kindness, laughter, meals, rest, and ordinary conversation. My beloved child, true vigilance protects life so life can continue. It does not make protection the only thing you think about. It creates enough order for peace to breathe. Now you are ready for the next movement of this conversation. You have learned how to watch without becoming consumed and how to respond without panic. In the next part, I will show you how to strengthen the atmosphere of peace within your home so every room is shaped not only by security, but also by truth, rest, healthy communication, and my steady presence. My beloved child, true vigilance protects life so life can continue. You have learned how to watch without becoming consumed, how to respond without panic, and how to strengthen the doors that protect your home. Now I want you to care for what happens inside those doors. Safety is not complete when the locks are strong, but the atmosphere remains filled with tension, silence, suspicion, or fear. Peace is not the absence of every disagreement. It is the presence of truth, respect, repair, and enough emotional safety for people to speak honestly. My beloved child, a quiet house can still be troubled if everyone is afraid to say what they feel. A peaceful home is not built by avoiding difficult conversations. It is built by learning how to have them without humiliation, intimidation, or control. Begin with the way words are spoken. Listen to the tone used during ordinary moments. Notice whether irritation has become normal. Notice whether jokes are used to wound, whether criticism is constant, or whether one person controls the room through anger. Words can remain in a home long after the conversation ends. They can make a child feel small, a partner feel unsafe, or an older relative feel like a burden. The book of Proverbs says that a gentle answer can turn away wrath. Gentleness does not mean weakness or silence. It means strength that refuses to increase the fire. My beloved child, when conflict begins, lower your voice instead of raising it. Speak about the action instead of attacking the person. Ask for a pause when emotions become too strong. Return to the conversation when both people can think more clearly. Create a rule in your home. No insults, no threats, no breaking objects, no using private pain as a weapon, no forcing someone to continue a conversation when they need a safe pause. These boundaries are not cold. They protect dignity. If anyone repeatedly ignores them, seek wise support and consider stronger boundaries. Peace also grows through repair. Every household will experience mistakes. Someone will speak carelessly, forget a responsibility, or respond from exhaustion. What matters is what happens next. Can the person admit what they did? Can they apologize without adding an excuse? Can they ask what repair would look like? My beloved child, an apology becomes trustworthy when behavior begins to change. Teach this through your own example. If you are wrong, say it clearly. Do not hide behind authority, age, stress, or good intentions. Say what you did, acknowledge the effect, and make a different choice. Humility can change the atmosphere of a room more deeply than speech. Strengthen peace through routines as well. Homes become more stable when people know what to expect. Meals, sleep, household tasks, quiet time, prayer, and communication can all benefit from simple rhythms. My beloved child, routine does not remove freedom. It reduces unnecessary confusion and helps people carry responsibility together. If one person performs every task, resentment may grow. Talk openly about what needs to be done. Divide responsibilities according to ability and capacity. Children can learn age-appropriate responsibility. Adults can ask for help before exhaustion becomes anger. Shared work can become an expression of care. Protect times of rest. Constant noise keeps the body alert even when no immediate danger exists. Turn down the television. Put devices aside during important conversations. Create periods when the home is not filled with alerts, arguments, or urgent demands. My beloved child, silence can become healing when it is not used as punishment. Music, natural light, fresh air, and order can also influence the atmosphere. Open the curtains, clean one neglected space, remove clutter that creates stress. These actions are not spiritual formulas. They simply help the body recognize that the environment is being cared for. Pray within this ordinary care. Thank me for the people, shelter, and resources you have. Ask for wisdom where relationships feel strained. Ask for patience where healing is slow. Ask for courage where truth needs to be spoken. My beloved child, prayer should deepen responsibility, not replace it. You may choose one short passage of scripture to read together or alone. Let the words settle without turning them into a lecture for someone else. Ask what they reveal about your own heart first. Scripture becomes harmful when it is used to win arguments or silence another person's experience. Let it correct, comfort, and guide you before you apply it to anyone else. Peace requires attention to grief. A home may feel different after death, illness, separation, job loss, or another major change. People may respond in different ways. One person may want to talk, another may need quiet. My beloved child, do not demand that everyone heal at the same speed. Make room for sadness without allowing it to control every day. If anxiety, depression, trauma, addiction, or repeated conflict is affecting the household, seek qualified support. A counselor, doctor, pastor, support group, or family service may help you develop tools that prayer alone has not yet taught you to use. Receiving care does not weaken faith. It can become part of how healing enters the home. Be careful with the atmosphere created by constant suspicion. If you repeatedly question, test, or monitor people without evidence, they may begin to feel unsafe even when your intention is protection. My beloved child, vigilance must remain connected to facts. Do not make everyone pay for the betrayal of one person. At the same time, peace does not mean pretending that repeated dishonesty is harmless. Address patterns calmly. Keep appropriate records. Clarify boundaries. Seek counsel. A healthy atmosphere is not maintained by hiding what is wrong. It is maintained by facing problems without allowing hatred to govern the response. Notice what enters your home through media. Fearful messages, endless outrage, gossip, and violent entertainment can influence mood and conversation. You do not need to remove everything difficult, but you should choose what repeatedly receives your attention. My beloved child, what fills the room often shapes what people carry after they leave it. Invite healthy connection. Share a meal. Ask a sincere question. Listen without checking your phone. Celebrate small progress. Give thanks for ordinary kindness. Peace grows through repeated moments of safety, not only through serious conversations. Do not try to create a perfect atmosphere. Perfection creates pressure, and pressure can become another form of control. Aim for honesty, repair, respect, and steadiness. Some days will feel easier than others. Begin again when the home becomes tense. My beloved child, speak peace, practice peace, and protect peace. Let your home become a place where truth can enter without fear, where boundaries can stand without hatred, and where people can rest without pretending. Let prayer soften your heart. Let wisdom guide your words, and let responsibility shape your routines. As the atmosphere becomes calmer, you may notice certain influences more clearly. A pattern that once hid inside confusion may become visible. An outside voice may be feeding division. Two people may be reinforcing secrecy, pressure, or manipulation. In the next part, I will help you recognize hidden coordination without falling into paranoia, so you can respond through facts, discernment, boundaries, and wise support. My beloved child, as peace becomes stronger inside your home, certain patterns may become easier to see. Confusion once covered them. Noise made them difficult to name. Now that your mind is calmer, you may notice that pressure does not always come from one person acting alone. Sometimes unhealthy influence moves through several people. repeated conversations, shared assumptions, private messages, or quiet agreements that remain unexplained. I am not telling you that a secret conspiracy surrounds you. I am teaching you to recognize when people reinforce one another in ways that weaken truth, boundaries, or peace. My beloved child, a hidden network may be gossip passed from person to person, relatives supporting control, or several people repeating the same misleading story without checking facts. Watch how information travels. Did something private reach someone who should not have known it? Did several people begin using the same language about you? Did one person speak for others without permission? Did pressure increase after a private conversation you were not included in? These details do not prove a plot, but they may show influence moving through several relationships. Remember how Absalom slowly turned hearts away from David by standing near the gate, listening to complaints and presenting himself as the person who understood everyone. He built influence through repeated conversations rather than open attack. My beloved child, this story teaches you that division often grows through words before it becomes visible through action. Do not respond by accusing everyone. Gather facts. Ask who said what. Ask when the decision was made. Ask whether there are messages, documents, or witnesses that can clarify the matter. Truth grows stronger when it is specific. Fear grows when everything remains vague. A hidden network may appear through triangulation. One person tells you what another person supposedly said, then tells the other person a different version of your words. Confusion grows because no one speaks directly. My beloved child, refuse to build serious conclusions on second-hand information. When it is safe, speak to the person involved and ask calmly what was actually said. You may say, "I was told this came from you." Is that accurate? Keep your tone steady. Do not enter the conversation with a verdict. A direct question can expose misunderstanding, exaggeration, or manipulation faster than guessing. Pay attention to who benefits from secrecy. Does someone gain control when people remain divided? Does a person become more powerful when others are afraid to compare information? Are financial decisions being made without transparency? Is access to the home money documents or family members being controlled by one small group? Hidden influence often survives because people are discouraged from asking ordinary questions. Ask for written information when the matter affects housing, ownership, debt, inheritance, caregiving, or shared expenses. Read what is provided. Keep copies. Seek qualified advice when the language is difficult. Do not sign because others insist there is no time to think. Pressure from a group does not make a decision wise. Sometimes the network is digital. Messages can be forwarded, screenshots, shared, and plans discussed in group conversations you never see. Do not try to break into another person's account or secretly monitor them. Protect your own access. Save messages sent to you. Report harassment or threats through proper channels. Unlawful retaliation will not create truth. Sometimes the network is emotional rather than organized. One person complains, another agrees, and a third begins treating the complaint as fact. No one may intend harm, but the repeated story can still damage trust. Speak with accuracy. Correct what is false. Admit what is true. Then refuse to spend every day chasing every rumor. You cannot control every conversation held in your absence. You can control whether your own words remain honest and whether your actions support what you say. Consistent character will not silence every critic, but it protects you from becoming controlled by their version of events. My beloved child, also examine whether you are part of an unhealthy network. Have you passed along information you did not verify? Have you agreed with a harsh story because you wanted belonging? Have you allowed another person to speak through you instead of asking the question yourself? Discernment begins with humility. If you have contributed to confusion, correct it. Tell the person what you repeated. Apologize without excuses. Clarify the truth with those who received the false information when appropriate. Repair may feel uncomfortable, but honesty can interrupt the pattern. Watch for enabling. A person may repeatedly excuse another person's threats, dishonesty, addiction, spending, or control. They may say that keeping the family together matters more than naming the harm. My beloved child, compassion does not require you to help someone avoid responsibility. Excuses can keep dysfunction alive for years. Healthy support does something different. It encourages treatment, accountability, boundaries, and repair. It protects vulnerable people. It does not hide violence, fraud, coercion, or abuse to preserve appearances. If serious harm is present, seek help from qualified professionals or authorities. Do not let family pressure silence safety. There may be several people who disagree with you for honest reasons. Do not call every disagreement opposition. Listen to what they are saying. Are they raising the same concern because your behavior truly needs attention? My beloved child, humility allows repeated correction to become instruction rather than automatically calling it betrayal. Compare the concern with evidence. Ask a trustworthy, uninvolved person. Look at your own choices. If the criticism is fair, respond with responsibility. If it is false, set the record straight calmly where it matters and release the need to convince everyone. A hidden network may lose power when communication becomes direct. Bring the right people together when safe. Use a mediator if tension is high. Put agreements in writing. Clarify who has authority, who has access, and who is responsible. Secrecy weakens when truth has structure. Do not confront a group alone if you feel threatened. Choose a safe setting. Bring support. Inform someone where you are. Use professional channels. My beloved child, courage is not standing unprotected in front of people who may act aggressively. Courage is choosing a wise way to face what is real. Pray for clarity without asking me to feed suspicion. Ask me to reveal what you need through facts, patterns, counsel, and conversation. Ask for patience when information is incomplete. Ask for humility if your assumption is wrong. Ask for courage if the evidence requires action. You need not uncover every hidden conversation. You need enough truth to make the next responsible decision. Protect your home. Guard access. Keep records. Seek advice. Refuse gossip. Speak directly. Let time show what pressure tries to hide. My beloved child, the purpose of recognizing hidden influence is not to make you afraid of people. It is to help you step out of confusion. When truth becomes clearer, you can decide who should have access, which agreement must change, and where support is needed. The next part of this conversation will teach you how to ask for truth and revelation without abandoning reason. You will learn to pray, listen, examine facts, test impressions, and receive counsel so that clarity grows without fear becoming your guide. My beloved child, you have learned that hidden influence becomes weaker when truth receives structure. Now I want you to ask for truth and revelation without surrendering your mind to fear. You do not need secret knowledge that makes you feel powerful. You need enough clarity to take the next honest step. Ask me to show you what is real, what is assumed, what is missing, and what must be handled with patience. Begin with prayer that is simple and direct. Tell me what concerns you. Name the conversation, message, document change, or repeated pattern that has unsettled your peace. My beloved child, do not tell me only what you think another person has done. Tell me what you actually know and what you are afraid may be true. Honesty creates room for wisdom. After you pray, allow a little silence. Do not force an answer from every thought that passes through your mind. Notice what remains steady after emotion settles. My beloved child, genuine clarity usually becomes more coherent with prayer, evidence, time, and wise conversation together. Solomon asked for an understanding heart so he could judge wisely between what was right and what was wrong. He did not ask for the power to read every hidden thought. He asked for discernment. My beloved child, let this become your prayer. Ask for wisdom that listens carefully, examines evidence, and refuses both denial and false accusation. Truth may come through ordinary means. A document may clarify an agreement. A direct question may correct a misunderstanding. A trusted advisor may notice what you missed. A repeated action may confirm that a concern is serious. Do not reject an ordinary answer because you expected something dramatic. You may have dreams, strong impressions, or sudden feelings. Write them down if they seem meaningful, but do not treat them as proof against another person. Your mind can combine memory, stress, hope, and fear while you sleep. My beloved child, an impression may invite reflection. It cannot replace evidence, accountability, or careful verification. If a dream makes you concerned, ask what part deserves examination. Is there a boundary you have ignored? Is there a document you need to read? Is there a conversation you have delayed? Let the impression lead you toward responsible questions, not toward a verdict. Ask for truth about yourself as well. You may be focused on what another person is hiding while avoiding your own motives. Are you searching for confirmation because you already want to believe the worst? Are you refusing a clear answer because it would require change? My beloved child, revelation that never examines your own heart can become pride. David prayed that I would search him and reveal any harmful way within him. This was not self-hatred. It was openness to correction. Ask whether fear, resentment, loneliness, or the need for control is influencing your judgment. Truth protects you best when you are willing to receive it in every direction. Do not pressure yourself to understand everything immediately. Some truth becomes clear in layers. One conversation reveals a missing fact. One document explains a decision. Time shows whether an apology becomes changed behavior. My beloved child, incomplete information is uncomfortable, but patience is safer than inventing an answer. Keep accurate records when the matter is important. Write dates, words, actions, and changes. Save relevant messages and documents. Separate what you observed from what someone told you. This creates a clearer picture and helps qualified people offer useful guidance. Do not record every ordinary interaction as though you are building a case against the world. Choose what is relevant. My beloved child, record keeping should serve truth, not obsession. Once the information is stored, return to your work, rest, relationships, and daily responsibilities. Speak directly when it is safe. Ask the person what happened. Ask how a decision was made. Ask who has access, who gave permission, or what an agreement means. Keep the question specific. Avoid beginning with accusations about motives you cannot prove. Listen to the answer, then compare it with facts and later actions. A confident tone does not make a statement true. Nervousness does not make a person guilty. My beloved child, people respond differently under pressure. Let consistency, evidence, and accountability carry more weight than appearance. Seek counsel from people who are calm and qualified. A housing concern may require a housing advisor. A legal issue may require an attorney. A financial question may require a reputable professional. A safety concern may require the proper authority. A relationship pattern may benefit from counseling or trusted pastoral support. Choose advisors who do not feed fear. They should ask questions, explain options, and admit what they do not know. Be cautious with anyone who claims complete certainty without reviewing facts. My beloved child, wisdom does not need to pretend. Scripture can guide your character while you seek answers. It can remind you to speak truth, avoid revenge, protect the vulnerable, and act justly. But do not pull one verse from context and use it as proof that a specific person is guilty. Let Scripture shape how you search for truth, not become a weapon against someone. You may receive an answer that disappoints you. The person you trusted may have acted dishonestly. An agreement may not protect you as you expected. A relationship may need stronger limits. My beloved child, truth can hurt, but clear pain is often easier to address than endless confusion. If evidence shows serious wrongdoing, respond through proper channels. Preserve records, seek support, protect access. Report threats, fraud, violence, coercion, or harassment where appropriate. Do not confront a dangerous person alone. Revelation should lead toward wisdom, safety, and responsibility, not reckless drama. You may also discover that your fear was greater than the facts. If so, receive correction with humility. Apologize if you accuse someone unfairly. Repair what you can. My beloved child, being wrong does not make you foolish. Refusing correction would keep you trapped. Ask me for courage to accept whichever truth appears. Do not ask only for the answer that confirms your expectation. Pray for freedom from denial and freedom from suspicion. Pray that love will not make you careless and that caution will not make you cruel. There may be no complete answer yet. Continue with the clearest responsibility before you. Keep the boundary. Review the agreement. Limit unnecessary access. Stay connected to wise people. Care for your body. Let your home remain a place of ordinary life while clarity develops. My beloved child, revelation is not always a sudden unveiling of names and hidden plans. It may be the gradual ability to see a pattern, understand your rights, recognize a boundary, or admit what you have avoided. It may be the wisdom to know when to speak and when to wait. As you search for truth, distractions will compete for your attention. Fear may pull you into endless checking. Gossip may invite you to follow every rumor. Entertainment may help you avoid the responsibility already clear. In the next part of this conversation, I will teach you how to stay focused through every distraction without becoming obsessed, so your attention remains steady, prayerful, and free. My beloved child, as you search for truth, distractions will compete for your attention. Fear may pull you into endless checking. Gossip may invite you to follow every rumor. Entertainment may help you avoid the responsibility already clear. I am not asking you to become obsessed. I am asking you to remain steady, prayerful, and free while you continue doing what truth requires. Focus is not the same as tension. Tension makes your body feel as though danger is always near. Focus chooses one responsibility and gives it attention. My beloved child, you do not need to watch every door, message, conversation, and person at the same time. You need to know what matters now and what can wait. Begin by naming the task before you. Perhaps you need to review a document, speak with a trusted advisor, change access to an account, repair a lock, or prepare for a conversation. Write the task down. Give it a clear place in your day. A defined action is easier to carry than a cloud of worry. Nehemiah refused to leave the work each time people tried to pull him away. He answered that he was doing important work and could not come down. My beloved child, this does not mean every interruption is harmful. It means you must recognize when something is drawing you away from a responsibility that deserves your attention. Some distractions will look urgent. A message may demand an immediate reply. A person may insist that you decide before thinking. A rumor may make you want to call everyone involved. Pause. Ask whether the matter truly requires action now. Urgency can be real, but pressure is often used to weaken judgment. If there is immediate danger, act quickly through the proper support. If there is no immediate danger, give yourself time to verify. My beloved child, calm delay can protect you from mistakes that panic would create. You are allowed to say that you need time to review, pray, and seek advice. Create periods of focused attention. Turn off unnecessary alerts. Place the phone away while reading important information. Choose one trusted person to consult instead of asking many voices. Work for a reasonable period, then stop and rest. Focus becomes stronger when the mind knows there will be an end. Do not let your whole day become an investigation. Eat, sleep, work, pray, and speak with people you love. Fear wants one concern to occupy every room of your life. Wisdom gives the concern a proper place and protects the rest of your day from being consumed. My beloved child, repeated checking may feel responsible, but it can become a cycle that increases anxiety. You check the door, then doubt your memory. You read the message again, then create a new meaning. You review the account, then search for another sign. Choose a clear routine, complete it, and allow the task to remain finished. If you find it difficult to stop checking, tell someone you trust. A counselor or medical professional may help you understand what your mind is doing under stress. Seeking support is not a failure of faith. It can help you return to reality with steadiness. Gossip is another distraction. It promises information but often creates more confusion. Someone tells you what another person supposedly said. The story changes as it travels. My beloved child, do not spend your strength chasing every version. Ask the person directly when it is safe. Confirm what matters. Release what cannot be verified. Avoid conversations that only increase suspicion without offering facts, support, or responsible action. You do not need to know every opinion held about you. You need enough truth to protect your home, make wise decisions, and continue living with integrity. Distraction may also appear as avoidance. You may clean scroll, watch videos, or handle small tasks because the important action feels uncomfortable. These activities may not be wrong, but they can become hiding places. My beloved child, ask whether you are resting or escaping. Then return gently to what must be done. Break difficult tasks into smaller steps. Open the document. Read one page. Write one question. Make one call. Save one record. You do not need to solve the entire matter in one sitting. Faithfulness often looks like completing the next clear action without demanding complete resolution. Pray before beginning. Ask me to quiet what is unnecessary and strengthen what is responsible. Pray again when the mind becomes scattered. Your prayer can be simple. Ask for clarity, patience, courage, and honesty. My beloved child, prayer is not another task competing for attention. It is the place where your attention is reordered. Jesus often withdrew from crowds even when many needs surrounded him. He did not allow every demand to determine his direction. He listened, served, rested, and moved according to purpose. Learn from this rhythm. You can care deeply without responding to everything immediately. Set boundaries around your attention. Decide when you will read messages and when you will leave them alone. Decide which people may discuss the situation with you. Decide what information you will not share publicly. My beloved child, focus is protected by limits. Do not let fear make you believe that constant attention creates control. Some parts of the situation belong outside your hands. Another person may make a choice you cannot prevent. A process may take longer than you want. An advisor may need time. Your responsibility is to remain honest, prepared, and responsive without trying to control every outcome. When your mind drifts toward the worst possibility, return to what is true now. Ask what has actually happened. Ask what evidence you have. Ask what step remains available. My beloved child, present truth is stronger than imagined disaster. You may need a written plan. Include the concern, the facts, the people who can help the next action, and the time when you will review the matter again. Once the plan is made, let it carry part of the burden. You do not need to solve the same question repeatedly in your mind. Rest is part of focus. A mind without rest becomes less accurate. Sleep, food, movement, prayer, and quiet conversation help restore perspective. Do not call exhaustion devotion. My beloved child, you can remain committed without becoming consumed. As you stay focused, you may notice that some distractions lose their power. Rumors become less important. Pressure becomes easier to recognize. Your next step becomes clearer. This is not because every problem has disappeared. It is because your attention is no longer being scattered by every fear. There may still be moments when you have done everything available and no further action is possible. That is when focus must become surrender. You have gathered facts, kept records, sought counsel, protected access, and spoken truth. My beloved child, you are not required to force what remains outside your control. The next part of this conversation will show you how to stand still without becoming passive. You will learn what it means to let me defend you while you continue keeping wise boundaries, using proper support, and refusing revenge. Focus has prepared your hands. Surrender will now steady your heart. My beloved child, you have reached the place where focus must become surrender. You have gathered facts, kept records, sought counsel, and completed the responsible step. Now there may be nothing more to do. This is where fear will tempt you to force an answer, chase rumors, or defend yourself to everyone. I am asking you to stand still. Standing still does not mean becoming careless. It does not mean unlocking the door, ignoring a threat, or abandoning support. My beloved child, standing still means refusing to let panic create movement. It means knowing the difference between an action that protects you and an action that only gives anxiety something to do. When Moses stood before the sea, the people saw water ahead and danger behind. Fear told them there was no path. Moses told them to remain steady and watch for my direction. Yet when the way opened, they had to walk. This is the balance I want you to understand. Surrender listens. Wisdom moves when the next step becomes clear. There are moments when you must speak, report, document, leave, or ask for help. There are also moments when more words will deepen confusion. My beloved child, do not keep explaining yourself to people who refuse to listen. State the truth clearly. Provide what is necessary. Then allow your actions and evidence to speak. You do not need to answer every accusation. Some claims require a response because they affect safety, housing, finances, or legal rights. Other claims are attempts to pull you into argument. Ask whether a response will clarify something important or merely keep you tied to a person who thrives on conflict. Let me defend you by teaching you restraint. Restraint is not weakness. It is strength that has stopped proving itself through reaction. My beloved child, when someone sends a message designed to provoke you, pause before replying. Save it if it matters. Share it with an advisor if necessary. Do not let urgency choose your tone. Let me defend you through truth. Truth may work slowly. A document may need review. A witness may need time to speak. A professional may need to examine the matter. You may wish everything could be settled immediately. My beloved child, a delayed answer is not the same as abandonment. Continue doing what is honest while the process unfolds. Peace can remain with you even while the final answer is still taking shape. Let me defend you through boundaries. You may need to limit contact, change access, use written communication, or ask another person to be present. You may need to stop private meetings or refuse conversations that become threatening. These choices are not revenge. They are structures that keep truth and safety from being swallowed by pressure. Remember Jehoshaphat when fear reached him through news of an approaching army. He prayed, gathered the people, and admitted that he did not know what to do. His attention turned toward me. My beloved child, you can admit that you do not know the outcome. You can still know the next faithful responsibility. Standing still also means releasing the need to control how others see you. Some people may misunderstand your silence. Some may believe the loudest voice. Some may repeat a story because it is easier than asking questions. You cannot manage every opinion. Protect what truly matters and let go of the demand to be understood by everyone. This does not mean allowing false information to damage important areas without response. Correct the record where necessary. Use the proper channel. Speak with clarity. Then stop repeating the explanation to people who are committed to distortion. My beloved child, your peace should not depend on winning every conversation. You may feel a strong desire for the person who hurt you to be exposed publicly. Bring that desire to me. It may come from pain, humiliation, or the need to feel safe again. But exposure is not always yours to arrange. Seek justice through lawful and responsible means. Do not spread private information, create rumors, or retaliate online. If wrongdoing is proven, consequences may follow through courts, housing services, employers, or changed relationships. If the evidence remains incomplete, continue protecting yourself without declaring what you cannot prove. My beloved child, I am not asking you to call uncertainty truth. Stand still in your body as well. Fear may keep you pacing, checking, and rehearsing. Sit down, breathe slowly, feel the chair beneath you. Name what has already been done. Name what must wait. Your nervous system may need reminders that this moment is not everything. You may pray, my God, I have taken the available steps. Show me if action is needed. Until then, keep me from fear, revenge, and foolish movement. Give me courage to wait without abandoning wisdom. My beloved child, such a prayer is not surrender to harm. It is surrender of control. Rest while you wait. Eat, sleep, work, care for those near you. Do not postpone your life until the matter is resolved. The unresolved situation deserves attention, but it does not deserve every hour. My beloved child, continuing to live is one way you refuse to let the conflict become your identity. Choose trusted people who know the situation. Let them help you remain grounded. Avoid retelling the story to everyone who will listen. Repetition can intensify anger and make assumptions feel like facts. Wise support helps you remember what is known and what remains uncertain. If danger changes, respond. Standing still is not a vow to remain in one place no matter what happens. If a threat becomes immediate, move toward safety and contact the proper support. If evidence appears, give it to a professional. Surrender remains awake. Jesus answered some accusations and remained silent at other times. His silence was not confusion. It was a refusal to let dishonest questioning control his purpose. My beloved child, ask for the wisdom to know when your voice serves truth and when silence protects it. Do not measure my defense only by whether others apologize, admit the truth, or receive consequences. My help may appear as clarity, safe distance, a boundary, a fair advisor, a protected document, or the courage to leave. It may appear as peace before the outcome is known. You may still feel disappointed if the process is imperfect. Human systems can be slow. People can avoid responsibility. My beloved child, I will not promise that every wrong will be corrected as you desire. I will promise that you can continue choosing truth, wisdom, and integrity within what is yours to control. Stand still then without becoming passive. Keep the door secure. Keep the record accurate. Keep the boundary clear. Keep prayer honest. Let go of revenge, compulsive checking, and the need to force an ending. You have done what today requires. Soon more truth may become visible. A pattern may be confirmed. A document may clarify responsibility. A conversation may reveal what must happen next. The next part of this conversation will prepare you for that moment. You will learn how to respond when exposure and action become necessary without rushing ahead, losing control, or allowing vindication to replace wisdom. My beloved child, you have learned how to stand still without becoming passive. You have kept the boundary preserved, the record sought counsel, and refused revenge. Now truth may begin to move from private concern into visible evidence. A document may confirm what was denied. A witness may speak. A repeated pattern may become impossible to ignore. Prepare your heart before that moment arrives. Sometimes exposure simply means the right person sees the facts. An advisor understands the pattern, a family member recognizes the pressure, or a professional explains what can be done. My beloved child, do not measure truth by how many people hear it. Measure it by whether clarity leads toward safety, responsibility, and wise action. Begin by organizing what you have gathered. Keep messages, dates, agreements, photographs, receipts, and notes in a secure place. Arrange them so another person can understand the sequence clearly. Stress can blur details. A clear record helps truth remain steady when emotions rise. Separate facts from interpretation. Write what happened, when it happened, who was present, and what evidence exists. Then write any questions that remain unanswered. My beloved child, this distinction matters. Facts can support action. Assumptions must remain open until they are verified. Choose who truly needs the information. Not every friend, relative, neighbor, or online audience should receive private details. Share with people who have a legitimate role, such as a counselor, attorney, housing professional, employer, medical provider, trusted leader, or proper authority. Protect privacy where possible. Remember Esther before she approached the king. She did not rush into the room without preparation. She sought support, considered timing, and spoke with purpose when needed. My beloved child, courage is not careless exposure. Courage prepares carefully so truth can be heard without unnecessary confusion. Plan what you need to say. Use clear sentences. Describe the behavior, the effect, the evidence, and the action you are requesting. Avoid exaggeration. Do not add details simply to make the story sound stronger. Truth does not need decoration. You may say that a boundary has been crossed, that access must change, that a payment is disputed, or that you need protection from further contact. Be specific. My beloved child, people can respond more effectively when they understand what happened and what help you need. Prepare emotionally as well. Exposure may bring relief, but it may also bring grief, anger, embarrassment, or fear. You may feel shaken when another person confirms what you suspected. You may also feel disappointed if the response is slower or less dramatic than expected. Bring these emotions to me before they control you. Do not turn vindication into a new form of bondage. If evidence supports your concern, you may feel tempted to announce that you were right to everyone. Pause. Ask what sharing will accomplish. Will it protect someone, correct an important record, or support a lawful process? Or will it mainly satisfy the desire to humiliate another person? Public shame can create harm beyond what you intend. Once private information is released, control may be lost. Use official channels when available. Let qualified people review what should remain private and what must be disclosed. If the issue involves immediate danger, violence, stalking, coercion, fraud, or forced entry, do not wait for perfect certainty before seeking appropriate help. Move toward safety. Contact the proper authority. Tell a trusted person where you are. Do not confront the person alone. If the concern is serious but not immediate, plan the conversation carefully. Choose a safe location. Consider having a mediator, advisor, or witness present. Use written communication when it creates clarity. My beloved child, the goal is not to win a dramatic confrontation. The goal is to protect truth and make responsible action possible. Prepare for denial. A person may minimize what happened, blame you, change the subject, or claim that everyone misunderstood. Do not let their reaction erase the evidence. Return to the facts. Repeat the boundary. End the conversation if it becomes unsafe or abusive. Prepare for partial truth as well. Someone may admit one part while hiding another. Do not rush to fill every gap. Record what was acknowledged. Ask what still needs clarification. Let time, documents, and professional review continue the process. You may also discover that part of your understanding was incomplete. My beloved child, remain humble enough to adjust. Exposure is not only about proving another person wrong, it is about allowing what is true to become clearer even when that truth corrects you. If you made an accusation that evidence does not support, repair the harm. Speak honestly. Withdraw the claim. Apologize where appropriate. This does not weaken your dignity. It shows that truth matters more than protecting your pride. Action should be proportionate. A misunderstanding may require a conversation. Repeated boundary violations may require limited access. Fraud may require financial or legal reporting. Violence may require emergency protection. My beloved child, wisdom matches the action to the evidence and the risk. Review your practical plan. Where will you stay if you need distance? Who can accompany you? Which documents and medicines must remain accessible? What accounts, locks, or permissions may need to change? What appointments should be scheduled? Preparation reduces decisions under pressure. Do not let preparation become obsession. Complete the plan, store it safely, and return to ordinary life. You are preparing for a possibility, not declaring that disaster is certain. My beloved child, wise readiness leaves room for peace. Continue praying for everyone involved, but do not use prayer to avoid action. Ask for courage, restraint, protection, and honest judgment. Ask that those responsible will face truth and choose accountability. Do not demand that I arrange humiliation or guarantee the outcome you prefer. The prophet Nathan approached David with wisdom before speaking directly about wrongdoing. He did not begin with uncontrolled rage. He created a moment in which truth could be recognized. My beloved child, let your own words be thoughtful enough that the issue remains visible. After action is taken, document what happened next. Keep copies of reports, responses, new agreements, or changed access. Follow up through the proper channel. If you need more help, ask. Responsible action often unfolds through calm steps rather than one dramatic moment. You may not receive the apology you hoped for. The process may not produce complete justice. Some people may continue denying what happened. My beloved child, do not let an imperfect response convince you that speaking truth was useless. A boundary can still protect. A record can still matter. A wise decision can still change your future. Prepare for freedom, not only exposure. The purpose of clarity is not to keep you forever connected to the crisis. It is to help you choose what must change and continue living. Let truth open a door toward stronger boundaries, healthier relationships, and deeper wisdom. As this season moves forward, you will need to understand what it has taught you. The next part of this conversation will help you learn from the crisis without allowing it to define you. You will see how pain can become wisdom, how boundaries can mature, and how your home and heart can grow stronger through what you have faced. My beloved child, truth has now led you through preparation and responsible action. You have gathered what matters, strengthened boundaries, and accepted imperfect outcomes. Now the crisis must become more than a memory you replay. It must become a place from which wisdom grows, not a room where fear keeps you trapped. Do not rush to call every painful event a blessing. Pain is painful. Betrayal can wound trust. Threats can disturb sleep. My beloved child, I do not ask you to pretend suffering was good. I ask you to notice what you can learn without allowing the crisis to define your identity. Begin by reviewing what happened with honesty. What warning signs appeared before the situation became serious? Which concerns did you notice but dismiss? Which questions did you avoid because you feared the answer? This reflection is not an invitation to blame yourself. It is a way to recognize patterns so you can respond earlier next time. You made decisions with the knowledge, strength, and support available to you then. Hindsight can make every missed detail appear obvious. It was not always obvious. My beloved child, let understanding become instruction, not punishment. Shame says you should have known everything. Wisdom asks what you know now and how that knowledge can guide you forward. Think about the boundaries that failed or remained unclear. Perhaps someone had more access than was healthy. Perhaps financial agreements were spoken but never written. Perhaps you kept giving another chance without requiring changed behavior. Do not condemn the kindness that was in you. Learn how kindness and structure must work together. A gate can welcome people while still having a hinge, a latch, and someone responsible for opening it. In the same way, your heart can remain compassionate while access becomes more thoughtful. My beloved child, growth does not require you to become cold. It teaches you to give trust in proportion to character, consistency, and time. Joseph carried wisdom from one difficult season into another. He planned during abundance so people could endure scarcity. His suffering did not make future problems disappear, but it shaped how he handled responsibility. Let your experience produce practical wisdom that serves the life ahead. Update the plans that need improvement. Change passwords that were shared too freely. Organize important documents. Review housing or financial agreements. Make emergency contacts easier to find. Decide who should know if a serious concern returns. My beloved child, growth becomes visible when a lesson changes a routine. Strengthen communication inside your home. Talk about what happened in a way that fits the age and needs of each person. Do not fill the atmosphere with frightening details. Explain the new boundary, the safety plan, or the change in access calmly. People feel safer when they understand what is changing and why. Listen to how the crisis affected others. One person may feel angry, another may feel guilty. A child may become unusually quiet. An older relative may fear being a burden. My beloved child, your experience matters, but it may not be the only experience in the room. Healing grows when everyone has safe space to speak. Do not demand quick recovery from yourself or anyone else. The event may be over while the body still expects another problem. Sounds, messages, dates, or places may awaken fear. This does not mean you are weak or moving backward. It may mean your body needs time and support to learn that the present is different. Use grounding, rest, prayer, and trusted conversation. If distress continues to interrupt sleep, work relationships, or daily functioning, seek qualified professional care. A counselor, doctor, support group, or trauma-informed service may help. My beloved child, receiving help is not surrender to the crisis. It is part of rebuilding after it. Grieve what was lost. You may have lost money, time, trust, a relationship, a sense of innocence, or the belief that your home could never be disturbed. Do not minimize that loss. Bring it to me. Let tears speak where words cannot. Grief makes room for reality, and reality is where healing begins. But do not make the wound your permanent name. You are not only the person who was deceived, threatened, or disappointed. You are capable of friendship, meaningful work, laughter, prayer, learning, and love. My beloved child, the crisis is part of your story. It is not the whole story. Notice the strengths that appeared without making the crisis seem necessary. Perhaps you asked for help sooner than you once would have. Perhaps you stayed calm during a difficult conversation. Perhaps you protected someone vulnerable, kept accurate records, or maintained a boundary. Honor that growth without romanticizing the pain. Also notice where you still need development. Maybe fear caused you to speak too harshly. Maybe you isolated yourself or accused someone before gathering facts. Admit this without collapsing into shame. My beloved child, maturity can hold two truths. You may have been harmed, and you may still have choices to correct. Repair what belongs to you. Apologize if your fear wounded an innocent person. Correct information you shared without proof. Rebuild trust through consistent behavior. Responsibility does not excuse what others did. It keeps their wrongdoing from becoming permission for you to avoid your own growth. Be patient with trust. Do not reopen every door because the immediate crisis has passed. Let access return only where accountability, safety, and changed behavior support it. Forgiveness may release bitterness while distance remains necessary. My beloved child, growth knows that reconciliation and renewed access are not always the same. Avoid the opposite mistake of closing your heart to everyone. One betrayal should not become a sentence against every future relationship. Let trustworthy people earn closeness slowly. Watch how they handle boundaries, disappointment, privacy, and responsibility. Healthy trust grows through repeated evidence. Create a written record of what you learned. Name the warning signs, the actions that helped, the support that mattered, and the changes you intend to maintain. Review it after enough time has passed. My beloved child, memory can soften details, but written wisdom can preserve what must not be forgotten. Return to ordinary life. Cook a meal. Complete your work. Sit in the sunlight. Speak with someone who makes you feel safe. Repair the room that became connected with fear. Ordinary routines teach the heart that life is larger than the crisis. My beloved child, you do not need to emerge fearless, perfect, or untouched. Growth may look like asking better questions, responding sooner, resting without checking again, or trusting your judgment without refusing counsel. These changes may appear small, but they build a stronger foundation. Carry the lesson without carrying the alarm. Keep the wisdom but release the belief that danger must always return. Let your boundaries remain while your body learns peace again. Let your home become wiser, not harder. Let your faith become steadier, not more superstitious. The next part of this conversation will help you receive courage, peace, and protection as you continue forward. not as guarantees that nothing difficult will happen, but as gifts that help you face what comes with a grounded heart, responsible choices, trustworthy support, and confidence in my presence. My beloved child, you have learned to carry the lesson without carrying the alarm. You have strengthened boundaries, accepted support, and allowed your home to become wiser instead of harder. Now receive courage, peace, and protection for the road ahead. These gifts will help you face life without surrendering to fear. Courage is not the absence of trembling. Courage is the decision to take the next responsible step, even when your body still remembers what happened. My beloved child, you may feel uncertain and still speak clearly. You may feel tired and still ask for help. You may feel afraid and still choose what protects dignity, truth, and safety. Do not wait until you feel powerful before you act wisely. Courage often begins quietly. It may look like making one call, keeping one boundary, reading one document, or telling one trustworthy person what is happening. These actions may seem small, but they build a path beneath your feet. Remember Joshua standing before a future he had never entered. He was told to be strong and courageous, not because the journey would be easy, but because he would not face it alone. My beloved child, courage does not mean you know every outcome. It means you move with faithfulness while uncertainty remains. Receive peace as well. Peace is not pretending that nothing matters. It is the ability to stay present while something important is still unresolved. It keeps your breathing steady enough to think. It allows you to hear advice, examine facts, and decide without being driven by panic. You may need to practice peace through your body. Sit down, relax your shoulders, breathe slowly. Notice the room around you. Name what is safe in this moment. My beloved child, this does not erase the concern. It reminds your nervous system that the whole future is not happening at once. Let prayer become a place of return. You do not need to create perfect words. Say that you need courage for the conversation, peace for the waiting, and wisdom for the decision. Ask me to help you recognize what belongs in your hands and what must remain outside your control. Paul wrote about a peace that guards the heart and mind. That peace does not depend on having every answer. It grows as you bring your concerns into prayer, remember what is true, and continue choosing what is honorable. My beloved child, let peace guard you from panic, but never let it become an excuse to ignore reality. Protection also has many forms. Sometimes protection is a locked door. Sometimes it is a counselor, an attorney, a doctor, a trusted neighbor, or a written agreement. Sometimes it is distance from a harmful relationship. Sometimes it is the courage to report a threat. Do not reduce protection to one dramatic sign. My beloved child, I may meet you through ordinary help. A professional may explain your rights. A friend may stay on the phone while you make a difficult decision. A family member may help organize documents. A safe place may become available. Receive these forms of support without believing that faith requires you to handle everything alone. Continue protecting your home through practical choices. Keep access clear. Review important accounts. Store documents safely. Repair what is broken. Maintain emergency contacts. Speak with the people in your household about what to do if a serious concern appears. Preparation is not fear when it creates calm. Do not promise yourself that trouble can never return. That promise would keep you checking constantly for any sign that it might be broken. Instead, trust that if something difficult happens, you can respond with more wisdom than before. My beloved child, confidence grows from knowing you have support tools, boundaries, and the ability to ask for help. Receive protection from isolation. Fear often tells you to withdraw until you can solve everything alone. But isolation can distort perspective. Stay connected to people who are steady, discreet, and honest. Let them challenge assumptions, confirm facts, and remind you when you need rest. Choose your support carefully. A helpful person will not make every situation more dramatic. They will not encourage revenge or spread private information. They will help you become clearer, safer, and more responsible. My beloved child, trustworthy support strengthens your own judgment instead of replacing it. Receive protection from shame. You may feel embarrassed that you trusted someone, missed a warning sign, or needed help. Shame may tell you to hide. Do not obey it. Many people face deception, pressure, loss, and conflict. Asking for support is not proof that you failed. It is proof that you are willing to care for what matters. Receive protection from bitterness as well. Keep the lesson, but do not rehearse the wound until it becomes the center of your identity. You can remember what happened without letting anger decide every future relationship. My beloved child, wisdom can remain while resentment leaves. You may still experience sudden fear. A message, sound, date, or name may awaken an old reaction. Pause and remind yourself that this is a memory or concern requiring examination, not automatically a new emergency. Check the facts. Use the plan. Contact support if needed. Then return to the present. If distress continues to interrupt daily life, seek professional care. My beloved child, courage may look like attending an appointment, learning new coping tools, or accepting treatment. Prayer can accompany these steps. You do not have to choose between spiritual comfort and practical support. Let your home receive peace through ordinary rhythms. Share meals, open the curtains, rest when you can, speak kindly, repair conflict, laugh without guilt, continue work, study, and care. Fear wants the crisis to remain the most important event in every room. Peace allows life to become larger again. Receive courage to face future conversations. You do not need to over-explain. Speak clearly. Bring support when appropriate. Use written communication when it creates safety. End the conversation if it becomes abusive. Courage knows when to speak, when to wait, and when to leave. Receive peace while processes take time. Reports may be reviewed slowly. Relationships may not repair quickly. A financial or housing issue may remain open. My beloved child, waiting can be difficult, but it does not mean nothing is happening. Continue with the responsibilities available today. My beloved child, I will not tell you that every danger will disappear or that every wrong will be repaired exactly as you wish. I will tell you that courage can grow, peace can return, and protection can become wiser through prayer, boundaries, support, and responsible action. Carry these gifts gently. Courage for the next step, peace for the present moment, protection through wise care. You are not required to predict every problem or control every person. You are called to remain awake, honest, supported, and rooted in my presence. The final part of this conversation will gather everything you have learned. You will seal this message through prayer, practical commitment, and a clear decision to move forward. The crisis will not become your permanent home. Wisdom will remain, peace will deepen, and your next season will begin with steadier hands and a freer heart. My beloved child, you have reached the final movement of this conversation. Protection is becoming a pattern of prayer, wisdom, boundaries, support, and responsible action. The crisis does not have permission to become your permanent home. You may remember what happened, but you do not have to keep living inside the moment when everything felt uncertain. You stopped when fear wanted you to rush. You listened when noise tried to scatter your attention. You learned that your home represents more than walls. It carries rest, belonging, memory, responsibility, and the people entrusted to your care. You learned to recognize betrayal through facts rather than imagination. You separated evidence from assumption. My beloved child, this kept you from denying what was real and from accusing people without truth. You received a shield that was not made from panic. Prayer, wisdom, honest counsel, practical preparation, and clear boundaries became your protection. You learned to pray before fear controlled your words. You brought me unanswered questions and the stories your mind was creating. Prayer did not remove responsibility. It helped you carry it with a steadier heart. You learned to watch people with discernment. You stopped measuring character by charm promises or one emotional conversation. You watched what followed. You noticed how people handled truth, disappointment, privacy, access, and correction. Then you walked through every room of your home. You prayed over the entrance, the gathering place, the kitchen, the bedroom, and spaces connected to work, children, guests, memory, and rest. You understood that consecration is not magic. It is choosing to let truth, respect, care, and responsibility shape each room. You secured the home in practical ways. You checked doors, windows, keys, lighting records, agreements, contacts, and emergency plans. You learned that faith is not carelessness. My beloved child, wisdom can pray and repair the lock. It can trust me and still read the document carefully. You faced anger without letting anger become your leader. You learned that forgiveness does not require unsafe access, and release does not erase accountability. You kept boundaries while refusing revenge. You allowed grief to speak. You began to loosen the resentment that kept your heart tied to the wound. You guarded your digital and personal access. You strengthened passwords, reviewed permissions, protected documents, limited location sharing, and became more careful with private information. You learned to verify unexpected messages instead of obeying urgency. You protected your life without turning suspicion into your daily atmosphere. You remained alert without becoming afraid. You learned that vigilance observes what is real while fear turns every movement into danger. You cared for your body, limited repeated checking, sought help when distress became overwhelming, and continued living ordinary life while serious concerns received their proper attention. You strengthened the atmosphere of peace. You watched the tone of your words. You made room for apology, repair, rest, shared responsibility, grief, laughter, and honest conversation. You learned that a quiet home is not always peaceful. Peace grows where truth can be spoken without humiliation. You recognized hidden influence without inventing a hidden enemy. You noticed triangulation, gossip, shared pressure, enabling, and secrecy. You asked who benefited from confusion. You brought communication into the light. You refused to call every disagreement betrayal, and you remained humble enough to receive correction. You asked for truth and revelation through prayer, scripture, facts, counsel, direct questions, and patient verification. You stopped treating dreams, feelings, or impressions as proof against another person. My beloved child, revelation may be quiet. It may arrive through a record, a conversation, a pattern, or the courage to admit what you avoided. You stayed focused through distraction. You stopped giving every rumor equal attention. You completed the next clear task. You rested when the work was done. You stood still and allowed me to defend you without becoming passive. You stopped over-explaining, chasing every opinion, and trying to force an ending. You kept the record accurate, the boundary clear, and the proper support near. You learned when to speak, when to wait, and when to move towards safety. When truth became clearer, you prepared for exposure and responsible action. You organized evidence, chose the proper people, used safe communication, and matched the response to the risk. You refused public shame and reckless confrontation. You allowed truth to serve protection rather than revenge. You learned from the crisis without calling the pain good. You reviewed warning signs, strengthened routines, improved communication, and accepted help. You did not make suffering your identity or proof of special importance. You allowed wisdom to grow without romanticizing what wounded you. Now receive what I placed before you in the previous part. Courage for the next step, peace for the present moment, protection through wise care. These are not promises that life will never become difficult. They are gifts that help you face difficulty without losing yourself. My beloved child, seal this message with one practical commitment. Choose one action you will complete. It may be organizing a document, changing a password, repairing a lock, scheduling an appointment, clarifying a boundary, or asking someone trustworthy for support. Choose one and complete it with calm attention. Then pray with me. My God, I place my home, my mind, my relationships, and my future into your care. Help me remain honest without becoming harsh. Help me stay alert without living afraid. Give me courage to act when action is needed, patience when I must wait, humility when I am corrected, and wisdom when the path is unclear. Teach me to protect what has been entrusted to me through prayer, boundaries, support, and responsible choices. Free me from revenge, compulsive fear, and the need to control every outcome. Let peace return to my body, truth remain in my words, and love stay connected to wisdom. Guide the people in this home towards safety, dignity, repair, and rest. When I need help, give me courage to ask. When I need distance, give me strength to keep it. When I need to speak, make my words clear. When I need silence, keep my heart steady. My beloved child, rise from this prayer without demanding a perfect feeling. Peace may come quietly, courage may appear as a small decision, healing may continue in layers. Let that be enough for today. I bless your next step with clarity. I bless your home with wiser routines, healthier boundaries, and honest communication. I bless your heart with freedom to remember without remaining trapped. I bless your mind with patience to test what you hear. I bless your hands with strength to complete what is responsible. Move forward now. Keep what you learned. Release what fear added. You are not walking into a life without uncertainty. You are walking with greater wisdom, stronger support, clearer boundaries, and a heart that knows where to return when fear rises. My beloved child, the message is sealed not by a ritual, but by the life you choose after hearing it. Let your next decision agree with truth. Let your home become a place where peace is practiced. Let your future be guided by courage rather than panic. Take the next faithful step and continue forward with steadier hands and a freer heart.